D?
Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, like, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys. Who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren. Right?
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
The diversity that the characters need to have needs to reflect the gaming world now. The mix of people that are playing these games, you know, it's not, 13-year-old white boys held up in their basements. It's a very diverse crowd,
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
What's this? What's this? It's the jacket. The jacket.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Yep.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay.
No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
5, 4, 3. Great, Sam.
We dumping chump. It's a landslide, sir.
On guard.
Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis!
Double zeros, baby!
Hello. Whoa. It's like I got the red turned up on my camera. Don't know if there's anything I can do about that now. Yar dog brothers and sword sisters. Disco Barbarian says for $5. Just finished some sick ass ribs. Ooh, that sounds good. And fixin', ready to chill with the warband. Crack some skulls. Let's get it on. We'll buckle in. Yeah. Saddle up, partner. we got a full show tonight. Saw Snake Oil Sean. He had a flood in his gaming basement. Brother. I'm reading this in real time. The books were on higher shelves. You didn't lose anything major. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Patrick Demo, our loyal friend. $10. Thank you so much, brother. Shout out to my boss, buddy and business partner, and I, who were unjustly fired from our job on Friday after 8 years of service. Holy shit. Oh. We're choosing to see it as more a time to devote to pointy hat games. Well, damn. Stop super chatting tonight, Patrick. You need the money. And I'm really sorry to hear that, brother. But having met you, you're going to be fine. You're going to land on your feet.
As Don Draper said, this is the hardest part.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yep. It's the hardest part.
Patrick's very savvy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very savvy individual.
Yep. Mercurius has already gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mercurius. Or, I'm sorry, my ear trumpet has been struck by lightning.
Kapow.
You see the question there. Do you have the flu yet? It may sound like Crazymouse has it. Go ahead and say something, Crazymouse.
Just from a cough.
He just has a cough. but it's going around.
Stop making me laugh. I'm going to be quiet tonight.
Well, you just be selective. How's that? You can just be a little selective. We know you'll pitch in when
needed.
When needed, yeah.
The mouse droppings will be more precious.
That's right. As you can hear, Rogan is here too.
Hello.
Hello. Your name is Toby. I got to get that drop. Every week I say, I got to get the Toby drop. I got to get the Toby drop. Didn't get the Toby drop. Mac Thompson. Look at you guys are... it might be just a little delay. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Mac Thompson, 1 Diversity in Dragons membership. Thank you so much, Mac.
There went out already.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Porch.
Boom, Porch. Porch got it.
All right.
Oh, well, I hope everybody is having a grand Wednesday. I look forward. I'm of two minds. I'm a little stressed because I want to put on a good show for you guys. But I also really, really look forward to getting together and talking with all you. Double D Army, getting together with Rogan and Crazymouse.
The divers.
Well, Crazymouse and I went up to B-Dubs last night with Gavin Morgan. Got some wings. I like B-Dubs.
And we didn't even know it was a special. Buy one, get one free.
Tuesdays, buy one, get one at B-Dubs. Jeff from $5 Canadian. Ready for a great night and then heading off this weekend to see one of his brothers get married. Congrats. Right. Yeah. Well, congrats for him. 2025 has been crazy. Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm good.
5 degrees and snow in Arkansas.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. I sent a screenshot of my car thermometer to Double D this morning. It was -1.
Yeah, that's not wind chill. That's
just
that's actual. That's actual temperature. It has been an unrelenting winter up here. I'll get you in a second, Dr. Uris. I just want to expound on how sick of it we all are. We're used to winters up here on the shores of Lake Erie, but this has been a really brutal winter. It's either snow since Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. It has either snowed or just been brutally cold. I think I can count on one hand the number of days where it was maybe in the upper 30s or maybe reached 40.
The irony is all the snow from that 4 feet on Black Friday was melted. This is all new snow.
It melted 2 weeks after.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it just started to get colder and colder and colder. And
We're
now,
up to 100 inches of snow this year.
Fuck. And the lake is fucking almost frozen over, which means it's just going to keep getting colder and colder and colder. Oof.
I blame the groundhog. Gus.
Gus. Dr. Urias Papers 2020. $5. Orcs are evil. Gnolls are evil. Check. Goblins are evil. Check. If you don't like it, you can kiss my... Hello, Dolly.
Kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits, Mel. Thank you, Dr. Urias. Mercurius says it's been a mild summer here in Australia.
Van's rubbing it in. 68 and sunny.
Ugh.
Where's that at? Hell?
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, man.
California.
California. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's cold for California.
Maybe it's in the good parts of California, not the 3 awful parts.
Calabasas.
Ooh.
Where the Kardashians live.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fake place.
It is not. It is real.
Is it? Is it really real?
Disco had to turn his AC on today. You rapscallion.
Yeah, rub it in. Guess what we're doing later? We're going to do a little O&R. We're going to be giving this thing away. Ooh, that reminds me. Hold on one second. You know what I have to do? You know what I never did? I never set up Nightbot, guys.
Bring that up. Snake Oil just sent out 5 memberships.
Snake Oil.
Jeff Quigley. Lord Otter. Laser Cat. Bradley.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Crom laughs at your 4 wins.
I like that one.
Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it. All you guys already. Boy, I hope I can. Come on. Let's Let's get in here, Double. I knew there was one thing that I was forgetting. And
just don't hit the modify button.
Yeah, don't hit modify. Yeah, don't hit. Oh no, see, there it is. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We're good. We're good. Ah. All that worry for nothing. Even though you guys can't see it, we're going to be good.
For nada.
So, stick around. Of course, we'll do this a little bit more towards the end. Keep you guys around. Hold you hostage a little bit, but I'll be sending this out to somebody. This courtesy of our friend Chris Miller. Hola, peeps. D&D Old Guard. Hola to you, my friend. Yep. So, but that bummed me out about Patrick getting fired after 8 years. Good Lord. And then Snake Oil Sean, jeez. Basement flooding. We're gonna give you something to laugh at. Hopefully, something for you to smile at. Something for us collectively to poke fun at. Where do I start? So many good ones. Should we go to
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
That's right. Let's go with this one. All right.
Interesting.
That's Marech. That's Marech. I'll tell you what. Let me. Gotta eat.
That was Karen Carpenter.
We'll do a little off the table news here first. Yes, that's Marech Schneider, national counselor to Switzerland. She's in the Green Party, and she says X, Twitter, is a threat to democracy and wants to have it blocked. Okay.
Because censorship is a good thing?
I guess.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Maybe she just doesn't want those pictures of her posted.
Yeah. That's a very good point, Rogan.
Oof. If you're not trying to take away people's freedom, maybe you get a little...
Wait, that's the before and after?
Oh,
Yep.
We know it. Yeah. Her soul's been slowly removed.
So she is in the Green Party. She is vegan, hardcore vegan, but not only vegan, she does something a little crazy.
Uh-oh.
Could you imagine somebody in the Green Party doing something crazy? Do you want to see how she gets her food?
Oh, no.
Stray Cat Strut style? I knew it. I knew that's where you were going.
You said Stray Cat Strut. You get credit for it.
Das ist einfach Abfall.
She dumpster dives for food.
Oh, my gosh. I get my dinner from a garbage can.
Moment. Pepperoni können wir schon nehmen. Da oben zu kommen. Die Pepperoni, die sehen ja gut aus. Nehmen wir mit.
Oh, die ist super bis auf das Loch.
Das Essen immer genießbar, wo sie aus dem Container raus...
Lord.
It's got bug holes in it. Am I wrong?
As, what's his name? Klaus Schwab said, you will eat the bugs. This is, believe it or not, there is a more than insignificant number of people in the world who want us to live like this. And she is trying to set an example.
Fischen.
Im Normalfall ja. Eigentlich auch noch vermehrt. Also sprich, Sachen, die weggerührt werden, sind eigentlich Sachen, die sonst verbieten.
Auf den Appetit schlägt ihr anderes, was deutlich stärker...
Do you know, I don't know why. Do you remember when we heard about that actress, the mattress actress named Lily Phillips? And I ended up watching that documentary on her on YouTube.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I actually felt really bad for her. I think that this would be the same thing. I think that I would be like, oh my God, that's so disgusting. And then at the end, I'd be like, man, I just feel bad for her.
Until you found Lily Phillips the next day was like, all right, now I'm ready to do 1,000.
Correct. Now I'm going to triple it.
The girl who did beat her to 1,000. I think her name is Bunny Blue. No, not the Bunny Blue we grew up with. This is a new one. She had 1,000 person run through, and now she is preggers.
Oh boy!
Surprise, surprise!
That cocktail working.
That's gonna be a lot of DNA testing there.
Well, that birth control was working overtime. It was taxed.
Someone had to get through.
Yeah,
Someone slipped one through the goalie.
Yeah, the shields can only last for so long.
Craig Bragg, $5, good one. Yeah, she found the ring at the bottom of a river on her birthday. Ring at the bottom of the dumpster. Her precious DB, $5. Could you imagine her coming home with garbage? That's head-slapping territory. Never mind your window-licking censorship. Yep, exactly.
I got perfectly good money to buy perfectly good food. Why dive in a dumpster? It's not about principle.
I wish I knew.
You know the irony is, I'm sure if she just walked around to the front of the store and she just asked, they would just give her stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But she's playing the martyrdom cause. I'm a martyr to a cause. I'll show them.
Yep.
I'll get 1 million likes, but not on X.
Fancy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
We look professional. Some tabletop news for you. Netflix planning. This is courtesy of EN World. Christian Hoffa. Netflix planning Forgotten Realms D&D TV show with Stranger Things producer. What could go wrong? That's the picture they had. We remember our giant friend. Yeah, people spray out, take dangerous selfies and hype. Yep, exactly, Haley. A D&D show set in the Forgotten Realms is in development at Netflix. Deadline reports that the new TV series titled The Forgotten Realms, not really stretching your creativity on that one, is being produced by Sean Levy with Dan Crivello. Never heard of him. I guess those are the
I like them already.
I guess those are the Stranger Things guys, probably. Serving as writer and showrunner. No time frame was given for the show release. No cast has been announced. And neither Hasbro nor Netflix has confirmed the project.
Sounds like just a couple guys went out and drank some beer and came up with an idea.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did a Forgotten Realms show? Oh, well. Hasbro tried unsuccessfully to get D&D to television for several years. At one point, Paramount Plus had a show in development with Rawson Marshall Thurber. Well, that is quite a name.
I have no idea who that is.
That's who was writing the
Sometimes when I'm pretending I'm rich around the house, I always refer to myself as Thurston
Thurston Mouse the Third.
Thurston Pennypacker.
Do you call Mrs. Mouse Lovey?
Lovey. That was the night that our oldest KG was born. I went out with Double D and Rogan. I'm sorry, not Rogan. Gavin. Yeah. I didn't know Rogan at that point, I don't think. And if I did, I'm drawing a blank.
No, we did. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
I remember she was born.
I bought a round of beer for the bar.
Yes. Yeah.
It didn't cost that much.
Hardly anybody there.
Yep.
Was that the Green Garden?
It was.
Yeah. God rest its soul.
I like that place.
Yeah, this project is not tied to D&D Honor Among Thieves, although the movie is set to debut on Netflix this month and is also set in the Forgotten Realms. D&D was also featured in an episode of Secret Level, an animated series focused on various game franchises and aired on Amazon Prime. I don't get into all these shows. I don't know if that... I probably should, seeing as I am a YouTuber, but man, it seems like watching these things would just be such work.
How much time do you have in your day?
Yes.
That movie was awful.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
It had a cast of, had interesting cast of characters, I suppose, but it was awful. Weak story, like all the bells and whistles that, we never see that shit at our game table, and we're perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yep. Did you get badgers there? See it up there?
Let's find it.
Oh, there we go. Badger, 2-month Justicia. Yep. In this case, the Forgotten Realms are common sense, creativity, and quality. Yes, indeedy. Thank you, Badger. Appreciate you. Craig Bragg hitting us again. $5 north of the border. Another shrimp on the barbie, mate. I won't watch if there's no Elminster, and he has to be an unrepentant pervert like Ed Greenwood. When we were at Gen Con one year, we went to say there is a place called the Red Garter, which is not too far away. This is way back, probably like probably like 12, 13 years ago. And somebody said, yeah, Ed Greenwood was here a little bit earlier. I'm like, oh, that tracks. DB, $5 over under on the party of beds adopting an abomination on the show. Which one? Owlbear, Beholder, Mimic, Blink Dog? Yep. They'll try to domesticate it, DB, as you and I both know. Edgelord, good to see you, sir. $2. How's my favorite dime store phony, Gavin? Ooh, ouch.
Who's that?
Probably talking about Gavin more. I think from his review of Joker 2, I think Gavin pissed off a few people.
Best movie of all time.
Yeah. Dime store phony.
When's the Oscars coming out?
Gavin is fine too. Yeah, he will return someday. We'll have him. DM James. James, thank you so much, buddy. 5 memberships. It's like Rich, Rod, Doodle Squatch. There you go. Ooh. Sam McDam and Brian are the beneficiaries.
That's awesome.
Of your largesse.
So nice.
Thank you, buddy. I do appreciate it, man. You guys are very, very nice. Yeah. You know what? I think wasn't chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Joe Manganiello? Wasn't he supposed to do a D&D show that they never approved?
Yeah, he was pushing that. I remember that.
It was like, I think, Dragonlance.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, Joe Manganiello is.
Jeff Hatch says yes, Dragonlance.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Disco. Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron.
It's flooding in.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean that's a legit star. Now maybe he'd have gotten somebody to write it. You know, I mean, I'm sure he'd had a lot of input. You know, but he is probably smart enough to know he couldn't do it all. Yet they didn't go with that. I reckon that you could have called it Joe Manganiello's Dragonlance, or
I like the guy.
Yeah, I do too.
He played Flash Thompson.
In what?
The
first
Spider-Man.
With
yes.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, the Tobey Maguire one.
Oh, that's way back.
He was young.
I always remember him from True Blood. It's almost like that's where he starts.
I just remember him having dinner with us from another room away.
Yeah, it's in a room that was cordoned off, a big curtain.
But technically, we were having dinner with him.
Absolutely, we were eating at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, Edgelord, he actually likes Gavin because Gavin used a dime store phony in his sentence. He rules. I will let him know that. We'll be talking to him.
This movie is 5 different movies all in one.
They're all bad, but yeah. So there you go. Kobold Press announces a cozy RPG. Sophia Verga. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Gavin. I'm like, Gavin was never married. Kobold Press announces a cozy RPG, Riverbank. I didn't think I'd be getting to 2 of these tonight, but I guess this is what cozy means. Basically, furries, little anthropomorphic animals, which I guess for if you're introducing your kids to RPGs, it's one way to do it. Kobold Press, known for its 5e products, is diversifying into the world of cozy. I don't like that word, TTRPGs. Do you?
No, it's weak.
Yeah.
Don't make your potential buyers treat them stupid from the get go.
No. A game of elegant animal chaos and whimsy. The game has a page on backer kit ready, and it launches in April. Illustrated by Kathleen Jennings, designed by Keej Johnson. Game allows you to attend tea parties, compete at the village fair, and dance in fancy balls. Well,
that sounds familiar. Was it Radiant?
In some ways, if they would just keep that shit to stuff like this, I'm fine with it. I'm like, oh, you guys that want all this weird stuff, just go play Riverbank.
Right.
There's already a game for you. You don't have to, ham fist that stuff into D&D. Uses a new system which utilizes a balance between animal and poetry sides of your character.
I just don't feel good.
Well, do you know? Have you heard RFK Jr. talk?
I don't even know who it is.
Okay.
He has an interesting cadence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his voice got wrecked earlier. If I can find time, I'll pull up a clip of him talking.
Did you ran a mouse guard game with?
I did with the kids.
Yeah,
I did with the kids one session.
Right. How was that?
Clunky.
Okay. This is.
I wanted to like it so much, and that was before I knew that the author of Mouse Guard was it was that same guy who did Burning Wheel, I think.
Oh. Okay.
He's a lunatic. Luke something or other.
Skywalker.
No. This guy's a long way from Luke Skywalker. Luke Crane.
I
Luke
meant
Crane.
the Two Life Crew Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah, there you go. And then we're in business. Now we're in business. Yeah. It was. I wanted to like it, Rogan. It was just so clunky,
right?
And I'm just like, boy, this. It seems to be made for kids. Why are we doing combat this way? Why isn't it just a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more fun? I didn't mind the system. Like I said, look, that might even be a good one-shot thing. Now, that stuff's a little bit more darker, I guess.
Yeah.
Red Wall or, Mouse Guard or something like
Right.
that. I mean, they didn't tell you to do tea parties. Zoyin, good to see you, buddy. You can thank Zoyin for bringing to my attention the main feature tonight, which is the X-rated game, which I watched only a couple seconds of the video. I'm like, all right, we'll go with it. So it'll be a surprise to me too. Dragonlance TV would have caused drama because White Man God Good, Red Dwarf God Neutral, Black Dragon Queen Evil, yes, and the main character is a redhead. Ayoo! There you go. Chris Miller. Sorry I'm late. I already told everybody, Chris, we're going to be
Mad Scribe Games.
Yep. We're going to be giving that away later.
Yep.
There you go. You're excused. Mac Thompson, $5. Here's how I teach my kids RPGs. Aim for the head. Shoot now. Now. Furries and cozies must be taxidermized. It's not a bad strategy. Not a bad strategy.
Yeah. Win combat, put another head on the wall.
In a Riverbank game, you join an intelligent society of anthropomorphic animals and enter their life of cake and tea time by the slow part
cake?
of slow part of the river. Here the charm of cottage core meets the whimsy of sophisticated critters as they navigate the intricacies and often the bedlam of polite animal society.
I can't even put that together in my mind.
I don't know what you do in this game. I mean, I don't know. Unless they must have maybe like social.
Well, Miss Hedgehog, you have a beautiful frock. Let's have some tea.
I'd be tempted to do an all-out Emmett Otter version. Go full Emmett Otter. You weave farcical or dramatic tales of elegant characters. All right, blah blah blah. You dance at fancy balls. You stroll through gardens and win the prize at the village fair, all while trying to keep a stiff upper lip.
Snake Oil, I agree. What is cottagecore?
They must think there's a market for it, and maybe there is these days. It's not us. Maybe it's just passing us by, fellas.
Are we that old? No, we're not that old. You know why? Because we see everything, and we understand it before everyone else.
That's right.
We know the truth.
Oh, yeah. You know, well said, my friend. We're young at heart. But this got me. All right, so I saw this, and then something else. I picked at a thread, guys. And I didn't like what I found when I unraveled the sweater.
Uh-oh.
I found a big hairy belly.
I'm afraid
called Steve Jackson Games. All right. So here we go. Strap in for this one. Then we'll do the adult thing, and then we got a lot of other like videos we could do too. Possum Creek joins Steve Jackson Games. Excuse me. Little Greg or Bobby Brady there. Possum Creek joins.
Time to change.
Yep. Joins Steve Jackson Games as new RPG imprint. Okay, so this is the article. Possum Creek, the award-winning publisher behind Wanderhome, So there's Riverbank and Wanderhome. Apparently this is going to be a crowded market, I guess. Is now a Steve Jackson Games imprint. That's right, Munchkin, Car Wars, GURPS, Illuminati. Steve Jackson Games. The guy who got raided by the FBI back in the day, the anti-government Steve Jackson. Steve Jackson Games announced the news today with Possum Creek's editorial director, Jay Dragon, that's the person behind Possum Creek, becoming SJ Games lead game designer and a board member. And Ruby Lavin becoming SJ Games art director. Possum Creek will retain full creative and editorial control of its games while assisting Steve Jackson Games in design and visual branding. Wanderhome, described as pastoral fantasy RPG about traveling animal folk. Jeez, where have I heard that before? Won the best family-friendly game and best cover art any back in 2022. So obviously this one has already been out for a while.
So there's just gypsies.
I guess. This Jay Dragon, that's the thread. I did a little unraveling.
That is a porn star name.
They just tell you here too who Steve Jackson is. We all know Munchkin, of course, the card games, all that. Yeah. So publisher, if you'd asked us 10 years ago, oh yeah, Steve Jackson Games, solid company. Well, this is who Jay Dragon is. This is a new Steve Jackson Games board member. Editorial director at Possum Creek. Jay is a queer, disabled game designer, born and raised in the Hudson Valley, who grew up digging for newts at the riverbed, etc., etc. Oh boy, you got to give these guys something for $10. Crazymouse, don't be stingy.
Pay that man his money.
There you go. Amuro 0079 for $10. Adult RPF sessions are like romance options in video games, inherently degenerate and cringeworthy exercises in gay hubris. These people need an intervention, and Jesus, and Conan of Samaria. Yep, yes to all that. Yes to all that. Crom, take my eyeballs now. Yeah, so there you go. Kind of how I picture Jay. But I'm sure Jay is probably, Jay made a pastoral fantasy RPG, so they're probably chill, right? Peaceful.
I would assume so. But
yeah, I mean, they just want, they just want everybody to have a good time with their game.
Be mellow, be bright, effervescent.
Yep. Uh-oh. I fell into Jay Dragon's Twitter. Every alt-right TTRPG dude ever is like, my name is Scargo the Wizened. My profile picture is 3 skulls, and I make videos where I wheeze in front of a green screen. No green screen here, sir. While shirtless. I've never been shirtless. My last writing credit was 10 years ago, and I hate politics and trans people.
This is that same person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Republicans, November 2nd. This is back in 2020. You'll never replace us. We will rule the world. Die, die, die. Republicans, November 7th. This is apparently after Trump lost after he lost in 2020. Please don't throw us in prison. Why won't you compromise? No, we never did that. And I think we pretty much said, we'll be back. Don't change the furniture too much, Joe. And lo and behold, you little freak, he was back. Don't stand quietly by while Nazis and alt-right slip into your communities. You got to tell them to F off. And if you're going to write about stuff that has been a fascination for them in the past, you got to be very clear where your politics stand. So excited to announce the cover for Wanderhome. I spent the past several weeks losing my mind, hyped over every step. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. There's your some more Wanderhome.
Oh, isn't that adorable?
Yep. Talking about how he's blocking weirdos, Nazis. It's so tiresome. Just so fucking tiresome.
I block the people I invite.
Yeah, yes. I'm not a narcissist at all. Dark Knight of Hibernia, €2. No gender, sigh. Fatherless behavior for 500. Yep.
Ding.
Yep. You got that one. If you're going to write a game about Norse mythology, you must be very careful to make your politics. Boy, this guy's really on this stuff. That must be what he was talking about earlier. Norse mythology apparently is I don't know, like a sign that you're an alt-right Nazi.
They're paralleling that with
I guess. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, this person doesn't know how to sew. Don't know what the threads are.
Yeah, like a dog whistle or something. There are incredibly dangerous and monstrous people who use Norse mythology as an ideological framework to justify their racism and Nazism. Guys, I want to remind you, this is your new Steve Jackson Games board member and lead editor.
So Steve Jackson's game system, his company, they don't have a code of conduct, do they?
No.
I'm a firm believer in that, the older I get.
Oh, no, I mean, they do. Steve Jackson loves this kind of behavior. I was going to say, they do. He does have a code of conduct. He likes this. Yeah, Chris Miller, Steve Jackson has been woke since 2016. He has TDS. Yep. I mean, Trump just broke so many of these people. And there you go. I got to say, I like the Riverbank one. The art in that a little bit better than this. The style, at least. It's a little too artsy fartsy for me. God, why would you? Oh, there you go. If you see these guys at a convention, I guess you'll see someone with a mask on.
Just walk the other way.
Yep. Just keep on walking. What do you do? What do you do?
Oi.
I tell you. Grim news. I'm really disappointed. I mean, yeah, I mean, Steve, if you ever had any hope that like if they ever do like another version of GURPS and all that stuff, I mean, why they're going to have people like that working on it. It's not something I would invest in myself. Oh boy. Let's see what the chat's got here. They got Rich from Munchkin. Yep. And they beat that one trick pony to death, says Craig. Yep. It's a Beatrix Potter RPG, says Ryan. Yep. Doesn't he have a pride flag? They always, yeah. Yep. Steve Jackson got, I can't emphasize this enough. Steve Jackson got raided by the FBI back in the day. He was like this like hero for his like anti-government, you know, kind of like a folk hero. And now he's just a simp for all this stuff. Frank Distrozo, $4.99. It's gotten to the point where if they don't call you a Nazi, you should be offended. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. And yeah, it sort of is, you know, from them a badge of honor. Bruce Lombardo, Dick's Division, 2 months, Chevalier. What's the complaint in running adult games? Well, we're about to find out. Dark Knight of High... generally speaking, try to see if I can phrase this a certain way. If you're doing it as an intimate thing with your partner, that's fine, but I would almost classify that more as like bedroom stuff than actual role-playing. We'll see where this goes. Where Super Geek Mike takes us. Dark Knight of Hibernia, €5. The Zero-E game I'm designing assumes that the Roman Catholic Church is correct, that the devil is trying to destroy us. Yep, and travel into Dante's Inferno. Nice.
Here's something interesting.
Sounds cool. Keep us apprised, Dark Knight. Back in the day, I was going to partner with Steve Jackson to promote and publish his game, but he wanted to own the rights and only pay me a 3% royalty for writing it. Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Oh, I bet he probably goes on and on about the rights of fucking workers. This is the guy who like is always talking about, I'm sure, how you know, tip employees are, you know, they shouldn't have to live like that. They should never have to live off of tips, and it's probably because he's a cheap tipper. It's the way all those people are. 3%. That's embarrassing.
It's shitty.
Glad you walked away from that one. Wow. What a rotten guy. And remember, I did a video a while back. They hired some chick who's just as much a lunatic. I did a expose video probably well over a year ago at this point. So, yeah, they're just stacking the company. And just, again, a lot of people out there will sit there and go, well, who cares, man, if they produce good stuff? Listen, for those of you saying that, I love you, but stop being a fucking retard. Somebody like Jay Dragon and, that chick, even Steve Jackson these days, although I don't know how much hands-on stuff he does, they're not capable of producing good stuff anymore. They will self-censor because they are so scared of offending people. So, RC Cola, where's the moon pie?
I love
like
RC.
that. Be free. Got this on a Crazymouse mentioned this, so it must have been on my mind. So I went into the store and they didn't have cherry Coke, but they did have this. And it's almost done. Jeff from Denkar, 13 months. Best fantasy RPG artist? The Mount Rushmore is easily Caldwell, Elmore, Parkinson. In the end, my favorite is Parkinson for the OG Riffs cover. Ooh, nice. You know my favorite, the old Arrow Lotus. But that's a good Mount Rushmore, my friend.
Wouldn't that be like the same thing as like talking about who the best guitarists are?
Yeah.
There's like really no wrong answers if you name like 7.
Yeah. It's just all like, I suppose if you want to get in the weeds, you could argue like a spaz, but generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with any of those. Yeah. When have they ever created great stuff, James? Great question. They don't. That's why I hate when people say, well, you got to separate the politics from, don't be a cringe, man. How could someone like Jay Dragon create anything approaching like a pulp fantasy or even just something as vanilla as like 3rd edition D&D? They wouldn't be able to. It's going to be all fucking tea parties and, anthropomorphic furries. Listen, their brains are fucking rotted, people. I don't know what to tell you.
They've been eating those peppers from the garbage can.
That's right. Yeah, they're eating the garbage can peppers. You can't produce anything of value when you're like that. I see $10 up there, Crazymouse.
I know. I got something.
Clear out of here.
Woo! I love it.
I like it a lot.
The Ultra American Tabletop RPG. Good to see you here, my friend. Just saw our favorite Vulture DM recently released a 1,000-page RPG. Whoa! I didn't know this. I need like a red alert button I can hit. If you need more than 300 to 400 pages to explain something, then it doesn't deserve to get played or read. Yeah, it's like, who edited that? I mean, you can get away with publishing like your own adventure, maybe on your own without a whole team. But good Lord, a whole rule book? You better have somebody editing that MFer. Oof. Ellis, I do not have a Discord server. Discord servers are a breeding ground for gay drama, and I do not want to be part of that. Just hook up with me on X, Ellis.
Drama bomb.
Yeah. Generally speaking, unless you're kind of bothering me, like, hey, bro, I know you don't know me, but can you show my book and play my video? No, probably not. No. But if you're, if I start to see you here, I'll interact with you. Ask like DB, Chris Miller, all these guys. I'm pretty approachable. I ain't that big yet, so I'm down to talk with you guys. But let's do it on X. Discord just causes it just gives me one more thing to do, and I don't want that. I don't want that. €5, Dark Knight again. If I recall, Steve Jackson Games stopped Fallout 1 from using his RPG because he hated the box art of the game. Oh, really? I did not realize that. But he allowed this kind of stuff. Yeah, what an utter moron. He's corrupted. He has complete Trump derangement syndrome. He's gone. Enjoy what you had, because there's a lot of good stuff from old Steve Jackson. You don't have to burn it or anything like that. Enjoy it. I'd be very dubious about buying something else from him. That's all. Rich S for $2. Tim Truman is a favorite from the. Oh yeah,
I agree.
Yep. You like Truman too?
Oh, absolutely. He created Grimjack.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I remember you like that.
I have to say something real fast here. Hey, Ironcaster, how dare you? How dare you bring up Leafield?
Rob,
that struck a nerve, dude. I'm done.
Rob, it's like Leafield's waking up to how bad Marvel has become, but it's like everybody's been trying to tell him for years, like, dude, these people, they wouldn't accept you now. Like, you're not their demo. Like, they'd probably be ashamed of you. But he's just starting to realize, like, gee, Marvel's fucked up.
Very.
Shape Take, what's up, Double Two? Great to be here. Live, ooh, tough to catch the stream is you're in Finland. Love the channel. Shape Take. If I knew how to say hello or goodbye in Finnish, I would say it.
Is Steve Jackson the guy from Lord of the Rings?
That's Peter Jackson.
Oh.
That's Peter.
Yeah,
Jackson.
they're brothers.
Yeah. Yep. Steve Jackson Games has been around for a long time. He's kind of one of the OGs from back in the 70s. Not involved in like D&D, I don't think. But yeah, no, it's a shame seeing these guys just their brains rotting as the years go by. All right, guys, you ready to go into the cauldron?
Let's do that.
Oh boy.
Yes,
I thought she was one of those Githyanis at first, right? How do you pronounce that? Githyanni?
I get my dinner from a garbage can.
Yeah, boy, that's. I mean, the problem will take care of itself because if she keeps going, like that's a Karen Carpenter situation there. Like, it's clear as day. So, hey, I hope she gets a change of mind, and I hope she starts to eat. Yeah, and Steve Jackson is not the same Steve Jackson that created Games Workshop and White Dwarf. Okay, he's been around for a while though, Chris, hasn't he? I mean, since the '80s, I thought at a minimum. But all right.
This video is sponsored by Scribe. Also, just a heads up, this video is going to contain some adult language. Everybody be cool about it, please and thank you. Well, it's Valentine's.
Where's the X one? Where's the X button? I'm panicking.
I don't like what I'm seeing already. Protect trans kids is a way of saying
just protect kids. Let's just protect kids.
How about we protect kids from trans people? Because that's really kind of how it should be.
Yeah.
X. Oh no. All this. Sorry.
Valentine's Day, love is in the air, and a bunch of dungeon tubers have been making videos about romance in D&D. And typically any romance in my games has been very PG. Player characters will flirt with NPCs, that can happen in my games. I've introduced a few love interests before, but it's usually just been playful banter and flirting, and then maybe we'll describe the first kiss. And then anything after that is typically handled with a fade to black.
That's how it should be handled. $10. What do you got for him, Crazymouse?
I'm looking for a good one.
Bitter dregs.
We love it. Oops. All right. Amoro 0079. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. These people are literally graping each other and then canceling each other over it 5 years after the fact. Yeah. Why would they need to sex each other up in RPGs when they do it in real life? Neil Gaiman tier. Yeah. Yeah, you will never see a greater hive of scum and villainy than these people. It's like that Stone Toss comic, like how nature sends a warning, and it's like the bright hair, animal, and then it's the I'm sorry, it's the camouflage animal, and the camouflage animal, and for humans is the male feminist.
Do you know
who is a graper?
He looks like the guy from Tool Time.
Oh yeah, not his partner. Yeah, his partner. Yeah, I never watched the show, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I never watched the show, but I know that he had a flannel. It's not the guy behind the fence.
Isn't that where Pamela Anderson got her start too?
Well, she was on it. She got her start at a hockey game.
Yeah, she got on the
Jumbotron.
video board. Yeah, DB, $2. Hit a land speed record for monkeypox there. Ouch. Ouch. Go ahead and do the Julio there, and then we'll keep going. Thank you, DB. $5. Julio doesn't want to say anything. Thank you for your donation.
All right.
Are you thanking me for my donation? Well, you're welcome.
But a couple of months ago, I ran an X-rated D&D one-shot, and it was very, very explicit. And in fact, that's the entire reason we ran the game. So the characters themselves would engage in carnal delights to fuck. They wanted to fuck. We're all adults here. The players wanted to play a game where their characters fucked and got fucked. And this isn't exactly an advice video, because the circumstances around the session were so unique and specific to my friends and what they wanted from the game. If you're looking for advice about handling romance in D&D, Stephanie Plays Games just did a good video earlier this week. But this is going to be a little bit more like a behind-the-scenes account of how this game came together, and how I managed to somehow run a game that had some pretty unique challenges. If you like this video and want to support the channel, consider checking out my Patreon. A video like this is kind of a gamble when it comes to what the audience wants to see, and if people don't watch it, then between this and my Avengers video getting demonetized, it means this will have been a rough week for me. So honestly, the best way...
Was he playing Fatal? He might be the only person I know that might have been running Fatal. Please tell me there was running... I want to know about this.
All right. I've not seen this, so I guess we'll find out. Dark Knight, $2 or €2. Protect trans kids. Just protect kids from troons, exactly. That's who needs the protectin'. Porch for $5. This guy looks like he protects trans kids near public playgrounds with duct tape in his windowless white van. Ouch. Porch, bringing the heat. +3 sign free kitten, yeah. Yep. $10.
Like, you've got ogres.
We got James. True fact, 40% of trans people will be deleted by trans people. Yep. That is 100% accurate. Patrick Demo, $5. I find it weird that this is the shit the left thought we were doing with the hobby. Then they dive headlong into it when they take over the hobby. What can I say, Patrick? Spot on, as usual. By the way, Patrick, if there's any way anybody can help, I don't know, do you have a site for your game, the card game that I got at Gen Con? If so, figure out if there's a way you can send people to it in the chat, or just let me know. I'll see if I can't link to it. Ultra American TTRPG, or $5. Me as DM. Oh, you want to bang in my game. Pulls out Wretched RPG and opens the STD rules. Oof.
Better roll low. You don't want to roll high.
What do you got for him?
Called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
That's right. Asterion Moloch, $10. Putting aside the obvious about quote-unquote adult games, how exactly do you do the adult part? Do you just sit there? Listen to narrated sex by the GM? For real, what is the point? I guess we're going to find out, Asterion. What do you get out of it? Well, he got a YouTube video out of it, so good on him, I guess.
To help support the channel is just to like the video and
thank
share
you so
it with
much,
a friend.
by the way.
Now, without further ado, let's get into the game. Oh, wait. Shit. Sorry. I'm doing a spicy romance video. I've got to use that kind of language. It's the rules of YouTube. Now, without any more foreplay, let's get into the video. There, I did the thing, even though it's not a good analogy. Foreplay is part of sex, and I hate to rush through foreplay, but whatever, this is how you're supposed to talk in a sexy video. I don't make the rules. Now, for a bit of context, my wife and her friends have a book club where they talk about spicy...
He has a wife? Whoa!
Her name's Herman.
$2, Mac. This creep will be on the news in a few years. Yeah. Have a seat, Super Geek Mike. Have a seat.
Books. They don't pick a single book to all read together. Instead, they just get together once a month and drink and talk about the spicy books they've all read and suggest which books the others should read. That seems very unusual to me because I have a hard time imagining friends listening to each other's recommendations. My friends and I just text each other about the shows we're watching and we say, you should watch this. And then none of us do. But from what I can tell, these ladies do actually read a lot of the books they recommend to each other. But as a group, they also do other fun activities. Like one time they went axe throwing. Another time they went to go see the Blake Lively movie based on a book they liked. From what I understand, they did...
It's not the way to start your SEX video. Talking about books that women read.
Not enjoy the film. Sounds like nobody enjoyed
Get right
that
into
film,
the juicy
actually.
stuff if you're going to
Another
go
month they
for
did
it,
a
I
sort
guess.
of sultry photo shoot. Although get your minds out of the gutter, it was nothing too crazy.
Bingo, Aaron.
I'm the member of the family who does naked photo shoots. And so for their November get-together, they actually asked me to run a spicy game of D&D for them. And of course I was on board. It sounded like a very fun challenge. But once I agreed, I had a lot of questions for the group. The most important question was, just how spicy are we talking here? The answer was all the way spicy. No fade to black. They wanted spicy RP. But they also wanted the romance aspect. They wanted to meet a suitor, a love interest, and have a relationship develop. Now, if you've ever read a romance...
rapist. I get it.
They want to have a romance
Yeah,
develop.
fell in love with the centaur rapist.
Who is that guy with the long blonde hair from the books, like Harlequin romance?
Oh, Fabio.
Fabio.
Yep. Yeah. Asterion $5. The vibe I get from this guy is women cover their drinks when I walk into a room, and they probably should. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not impressed with Super Geek Mike. I've seen this guy before, but he never. Maybe I ought to start paying more attention to him. I mean, he just kind of looked like your average kind of like soy YouTuber. I didn't realize he. It's like it's weird because it's like, all right, does this count as like macho? I don't think so. I suppose he could make that claim though, couldn't he? Oof. There you go. You got a fan there, Rogan.
Book, you know they can move fast, but the timeline can be flexible within the demands of the story.
Yeah, you can thank Zolyin for this, or blame him if you so desire. You can thank him or blame him.
And there are tropes that can help speed up the process. But there still is a process. The guy and the girl have to meet. They have to size each other up. They have to have some sort of banter, whether full courtship or...
Does it have to be a guy and a girl? Come on.
Butting
We're talking
heads.
naughty stuff here. Okay? Where's the mimic at? Where's the centaur?
He's padding the time in this video. I mean, I guess we know, Mike. You can't just skip right to the bedroom stuff. Well, I mean, your side does. You know, when you Neil Gaimanize women.
There needs to be some sort of interaction. And then the guy and the girl finally act on their passions and, of course, start getting freaky. And I had to do all of that in just one session. Actually, I had to do all of that with 5 different couples within one session. Last year, Ginny D made a video about the one-on-one role-playing game Star-Crossed, which is all about playing out a romance between 2 characters. And
Pick it up, peeps. Star-crossed. James, $5. The single chair in a hotel room is named after that guy. Yep. It's the Mike chair. Have a seat.
He made clear in that video that the game is more about romantic tension rather than simple courtship.
Oh boy.
That game basically ends the moment somebody makes their...
Guys are bringing this. This good ally takes a pegging during his gaming sessions. I'd bet money on it. Well, he may just fess up to it here. That's the thing.
And there's also a bunch of game mechanics involved in just making sure that part of the process is as fun as possible. And somehow I was going to speedrun that process for 5 players. The characters didn't all need to get happy endings, ha ha ha. But no, for real, they were clear that the romances didn't need to end with the characters living happy lives together. They could end sad or bittersweet if that's where the story went. But the more fun part was getting to play the journey.
Good Lord. All right.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
That's right. Thank you, North of the Rockies, $10. His idea of spicy is squirting Tabasco sauce up his butt to simulate menstruation. Come on now.
No, it's
too far.
No, it's in my mind.
Too far.
But far more of the journey than is typically covered in
Thank you,
Starcrossed.
North of the Rockies.
And honestly, I could probably hack a version of Starcrossed that went further than just the declaration of love and actually handled the physical intimacy as well. But probably not for 5 players. But still, this brings up another point I had to consider. What was the best game to run for this one-shot? After all, I like D&D 5e, and it's certainly the game I know the best, but it's not designed for a romance-centric game. I was actually imagining the game Monster Hearts, which is inspired by sexy teen supernatural dramas like Buffy or The Vampire Diaries. Now, I believe that game is designed so the player characters are sleeping with each other, so trying to introduce some NPC boyfriends would require me to hack the system a bit, but I would be down to give it a try. It's also set in modern day, but they were asking about D&D, so I didn't know if the medieval fantasy setting was the important part for them, or if they just wanted to play a role-playing game. So I asked the players, Would you like to play in modern times or in a classic medieval fantasy? And they overwhelmingly voted for fantasy. Okay, fair enough, that was part of the pitch for them, and that's kind of what I expected. And then I floated the idea of playing a different game system. And most of them basically said, no, we want to play D&D. 2 of the girls were D&D players who were happy to make their own characters using their own D&D Beyond accounts. My wife also already had some experience playing D&D already, so she wouldn't be completely new to it. And 2 of the other girls were new to D&D, but were really excited to play. And normally, I love introducing new players to D&D.
I get a feeling like it was just him and his wife and like 3 blow-up doll women like, sitting at the table.
Inflated dates.
Yeah.
But in this case, we were planning to run an already fairly complicated one-shot in a game system that really wasn't designed for it. Well, I said I wanted a challenge. So, okay, they wanted to play in D&D. I know how to start putting a D&D campaign together. We start with character creation. I reached out to each of the players via text, and I gave them a list of ancestries and classes and backgrounds, not all at once. To start, I offered them a really simple choice. Do you want to be a fighting person, a bow and arrow person, or a magic person?
Why? This is all about like romancing and boning, I guess.
Just toss some pre-gens out there now. Right, they don't need that stuff. You're talking about doing it. They don't. God, too many options.
Yep. I would just be like, guys, just go to work on some AI art site.
Yeah.
Get the character you want, because visuals are going to be really important in this, as we know.
But considering the kind of game we were running, I also gave them another set of choices.
Which one are you laughing
instead
at?
Start with a character
You said visuals, and I was thinking about that picture of Dende.
Oh god, yeah, the Dende, yeah.
Archetype. Something like a
We
priestess,
can give the dime,
a
maybe the
baker's daughter,
dime
a
store
chieftain's daughter,
retelling
a
of that.
princess, a serving girl, etc.
It's always
Now you might have
amusing to me.
noticed, but those are just backgrounds reskinned. Priestess is the acolyte. Baker's daughter could be a guild artisan or an urchin. Chieftain's daughter could be a hermit or an outlander. Princess is obviously a noble, and so on. They're just adapted for the tropes of romance books. Once they made their choice, I could give them more specific options. For example, if they wanted to be a magic person, I then asked, do you want to be a bard, a cleric, a druid, a paladin, a ranger, a sorcerer, a war...
Jeez, he is patting this motherfucker out. What's up, Shark? How you doing, buddy? Holy shit. Buffalo Bill has really let himself go. Yeah, I can see a little bit of that in him.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Yep. Would you play D&D with me?
Warlock
I'd
or
play
wizard.
D&D
Wow.
with me.
8 of the 12 classes in the player's handbook fall under magic person. That doesn't really narrow it down that much, but
this has
we take what
nothing
we
to
can
do
get.
with what he's promising. He's just telling you, like, here are the options you can do when you make any D&D character.
Complicated game. And I would then give them some very basic details about each of those classes, basically pitching them on the core fantasy of
187.
each class. Although some of that work was made easier by the fact that they've played Baldur's Gate 3. Now for the ancestries, I didn't give them as many options. I omitted some of the ones from the book so they would better fit with the goals of the session. For
Cal,
example,
are
most
you
of the
here?
girls wanted to play basically
Say
innocent
I,
young
if
virgins
you're here.
aged around 19 or 20.
Everybody's changing
because
their
that's,
names.
again, the stock character from those books. And they thought it would be fun to role-play those tropes. So I didn't present any ancestries that didn't fit that mold. I suggested they could play humans or elves
There you
or
go.
tieflings, because we all know
Oh,
tieflings
yeah,
can be
okay,
sexy,
yeah, you're the,
and
reason,
Aasimar,
okay.
because I thought that could be fun as well.
I was
So
raised
I just
a
didn't
poor
suggest
child.
orcs or dragonborn or dwarves or halflings or gnomes, because those...
This is a little bit of how this, like, sausage. I mean, this is like not, you have, there's some topics you can just kind of talk on for sure. And, you know, obviously we don't have huge budgets or endless time, you know, so, you know, this has to suffice for a lot of our videos, but he couldn't afford to just edit in like some images here of, just take any fantasy artwork, kind of set. Maybe he didn't want to offend anybody, but, you know, like some chainmail bikini women or something.
Spice it up a little bit.
Create your own on AI. Good Lord, you could literally sit down and in 1 hour have 100
Easy.
100 images, you know, of varying quality. You know, if you did some culling and, you know, some work in about 2 hours, you could get some pretty good stuff. Removing the backgrounds and all that stuff. He could just he could be flashing all that stuff on screen right now. It's very easy to do in just like the free editing software I use, which is Shotcut. But he's sitting here just fucking talking and bleeding this
didn't really match
out.
the archetypes the players were going for. Once they had those details, I asked them to come up with a character
Yeah.
name and a vibe.
Yeah, exactly,
And by
Chris.
vibe, I basically meant please go on Pinterest and find some character
there
art
we
we can
go.
use to better imagine your character. Now, if this were an ongoing campaign, I would have then drawn their characters or commissioned an artist, especially for a nodding campaign, because trust me, there are some very talented, not safe for work artists in the D&D community.
Yeah, they're also all on the Megan's Law list.
But for a one-shot, some art from Pinterest would work just fine. And then I went off on my own
chance you take, I
characters
guess.
for them. Now, one of the players, who was the one who was basically putting together the session on their side, handling a lot of those logistics, she'd previously hosted a book club where I think they basically invented some fantasy boyfriends. Again, just riffing on the tropes from books. Like, from what I understand, one of them was just a reskinned version of the main romantic lead from A Court of Thorns and Roses. It was just the exact same character. And so she basically had these pre-made love interests that I could just drop into the game if I wanted to. They didn't have D&D stats.
This guy looks like Otto.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Ellen Page.
Made you use your X card for the first time, you say, tabletop? Well, sorry. The punishment will continue. The beatings will continue.
Or anything like
Until
that. It
morale
wasn't that
improves.
elaborate, but there were these little printable cards with some basic details like their likes and dislikes, including some options for sexual preferences like blindfolds or quickies. Side note, each boyfriend card had a sexual position on there, and I had to Google most of those. Like, most of us have heard of missionary or 69 or doggy style or maybe froggy style, but I don't know about you, but I'd never heard of the mountain climber or the bicycle. Now, I didn't just want to present all these boyfriends in the same session and then let the girls choose which ones to...
I have no idea what trombone blown means.
Pursue. I wanted these men to basically present themselves in the story as the obvious love interest that I was steering them toward, and have the girls either fall in love with them or hate them and then become enemies to lovers. Just because otherwise I would have had to have way too many NPCs in the game, and I just didn't have time for that. So it meant I had to choose the lovers that would best suit each player character, which meant I had to figure out which tropes they wanted to explore. I'm personally not an expert in romance books. I've read a few, and I've enjoyed them, but I just don't get as much time to read these days as I would like. So I asked the girls what tropes they wanted from their lovers in fiction. And they came back with things like enemies to lovers, or two people, one space, like they're forced to hunker down together, and they have to spoon for warmth or whatever.
Two girls, one
Sometimes
cup.
they would be way more specific. One girl said she liked big burly orcs with breeding kinks. Okay, I'll just choose the orc boyfriend for her then.
She wants the big burly orc with...
She has a breeding kink?
Oh, my Lord. There's so... a breeding kink for an orc.
Yeah.
I wonder what we're substituting orcs for. They always tell us that we're the ones who do this.
Kind of reminds me of something.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
that.
put my finger
I
on
can't.
it.
Boy, there's like a genre in that field about breeding and a certain race of people. Wow, I did not expect that. That is an own goal, as they say, over across the pond. Porch. I think this guy used an X card or a triple X card. If I had it, I would give you the David Caruso. Yeah, you know.
Of course, speaking of kinks,
with the
due to the
explosion
nature of the
behind.
game we were going to play together, I had to ask each player which
Bob
kinks and
O'Reilly.
positions they wanted to be included in their scenes. Basically, preemptively getting their consent for certain topics to appear in their sexy scenarios. I didn't just want the players to tell me what they didn't want, because what if they say, I don't want these 3 things to show up? And I say, okay, cool. But then it turns out I have a more active imagination than them, and so I maybe introduce something into the sex scene that they hadn't even considered, and now they have to decide in the moment whether they're okay with it or not, as well as whether or not their character thinks it's sexy, which might not be the same answer as whether they are okay with it. So it was just...
No means no. No means no.
I'm still thinking of the orc breeding.
Yeah,
that is
that away. That's a shining light into their thought of race.
Mm-hmm.
Yada yada.
Yeah.
So much easier to say, here is a list of positions and kinks. Let me know the ones you...
Oh, boy.
I like eating out. Where do you want to go?
Give you
Lobster's
my
not
favorite
around
restaurant. Oh, edging. Mrs. D is great at edging. She edges the the sidewalk.
Oh yeah.
And the walk up to the house.
Does she have a weed eater?
Oh, she uses a little axe when she edges.
Oh, cool.
What is dubious consent?
That's the no means yes.
I was gonna say sounds an awful lot like like grape farming.
Here, take a sip of this potion. It's called a potion.
Jeff from $5 Canadian. The more this goes on, it sounds less like a game and more like a Temu version of a Harlequin romance novel. Yeah, pretty much.
But the orc is Fabio.
Yeah.
Ish.
It's not real. It's, I guess, the ultimate. It's where it had to go. Ultimately, this stuff is boring. That's why smarter people than him have said, "Yeah, just fade to black." You don't need all that detail. You can all just say like you had a wild night.
I can't help but think here that these ladies are getting together to spark this kind of game with this gentleman. And I just don't. The only thing I could think of is there's a lot of fucking swinging going on with those people. They'd be fucking. Yeah. They got to be fucking each other. Pardon my language.
I would.
I mean, they would have to be.
Which leads me to believe, like, what are we talking? Like, what is this? I mean, like looks wise,
right?
Like this got to be pretty rough.
Because this guy's definitely a pegger.
Dubious consent is what he received on his wedding night. Me likey.
Do want me to include in the scene, or at least the ones you'd be okay with. I also was very clear with them that I wasn't asking for their personal kinks or positions. I didn't want to know what they like. Maybe there's something that they wouldn't actually want to do in their own lives, but that they would want their characters to get up to. I mean, we all do that in D&D. I don't want to fight a dragon in real life, but I want to be able to fight a dragon when I play D&D. Like
I want to. That's how I want to die. I want to fight that dragon.
Yes.
That'll be epic.
Dark Knight, I signed up to fight monsters, not bed them.
Likewise, I don't need to know how my players feel about like bondage or hot wax or voyeurism in their own lives.
Good
but
point,
I do
Jeff.
need to know if that's something that they want to experience in their sexy role-playing scenes. So I made a list of experiences I thought might appear in the game, omitting any that were a firm no from me, like scatological stuff. And then I made sure the list included some things that could only appear in a D&D game, like monstrous lovers, broken into different categories, like monstrous lovers, demons, monstrous lovers,
Stop it here just so we can...
Yeah, let's get it finished on this part of the buffet here.
Let's go over to the second. Oh, God.
From one hot table to a hotter table. Let's go. All right.
It's like the Pizza Hut buffet. All right, we got the pizza. Let's go over to the salad bar now. Get some fingering, some hot wax. Impregnation. Oh, God. By them big burly orc brother. I mean, men.
Pearl necklace.
Public sex, reverse role playing, orgasm. Oh my Lord!
I can't unsee any of this.
Yes, yeah, exactly, Chris. Yeah, for $5. Yeah, they're angry that Gary had the legendary harlot table where he said like strumpet.
Saucy.
Yes.
Is this a saucy strumpet?
Yeah.
Saucy tart.
Saucy tart.
That's the one I want. I want two of those. They're cheap.
TV $2. Wait, you're not going to finish us? What the FTs?
Cruel.
Yeah. Monstrous lover, demon, vampire, werewolf. I mean, they would tear you to shreds. That's what they do. That's why they're monsters.
I'm reminded, we mentioned this a handful of weeks back. Stern's character tried to bed a female vampire while some of us in the crew were getting killed in another room.
Oh, yes. Always fun. Dark Knight of Hibernia, €5. My friend says that if players insist on this stuff, roll on the disease table and check to see if they get a pregnancy every single time. Yeah, you should. Yeah, for sure. Bruce.
I love knowledge. Hey, Double D!
Good choice. Bruce Lombardo, $20. My war-infused Pathfinder game with a lot of NC-17 content now looks like that tame RoboCop remake from 2014. I really love the game I'm running. It's what I'd want to play in. Racism, hatred, adult themes. Yeah, Bruce, you can touch on this stuff. You can make it look... If it's down and like dirty and it fits like the rest of the setting, you can probably take it to... I would always say stop at R rating. I would never go to like X. It gets weird because then you're starting to look at lists like this. But yeah, NC-17. Yeah, that's I guess I could broach that too. Yeah, if it fits the setting. Yeah, but I wouldn't go into this much detail. It breaks everything. It breaks everything. Doc Flamingo is a defender. Thank you, Doc. Holy smokes. Back to back. We got All right. Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division. There's no reason why I'd want to know my players' kinks, nor do they need or want to hear mine. Yeah, my game is rough enough with just dragons burning characters to an ashtray. Yeah, absolutely. And look, you can just... I would say in those kind of games too, Bruce, it's okay to describe stuff like Conan, like, you know, you stumble on a village that's been burned down, the women have been, you know, violated and, you know, murdered and stuff like that. Yeah, as long as they know ahead of time, like, yeah, we're going to get a little spicy here. You're good to go. It's just, yeah, this stuff is just, ugh. 'Cause I feel dirty even having like this up.
Well, you know, in my experience is a lot of dudes don't talk sex shit with their buddies. I'd never recall ever like talking about, you know, girlfriends, and I know girlfriends used to talk all kinds of crap about their boyfriends to each other.
Yeah,
but like dudes don't normally do that.
Or if they do it, it's like between the ages of 18 and 21.
Right.
You know.
If.
It's like, because then after that you're like, all right, I've done this now. I've ridden a few ponies. And Doc Flamingo, $5. Is it still an adult game if minors are involved? Asking for Tom Hanks. Yeah, did you see he was on Saturday Night Live? Tom Hanks.
I heard something about it. It was a big to-do, right? 50th anniversary or something.
Yeah, he played like a MAGA guy who was afraid to shake the host's hands. Yeah,
yeah, the MAGA
vampires and monsters lovers, werewolves, because people have different preferences. And then I sent this list to each of my players, and they sent me back their requests. And so once I had their characters and their tropes and kinks and positions they wanted to roleplay, I could then decide which boyfriends to introduce into the game. But now I had to figure out what sort of story could introduce all 5 love interests, and also give the players a chance to have their romantic encounter culminating in sex, but also give them a chance to play D&D, since that was part of the goal for them. And this is the biggest challenge I faced when putting the game together. See, typically, if you're telling a story with a lot of sex in it, and it's not gratuitous like early Game of Thrones, but instead it actually serves the story, then typically the sex scenes do one of a couple of things. Either they push the character arcs in new directions, or they resolve tension that has been building. Usually, they do both. For example, when the secretary starts having sex with her boss, it's a culmination of all of their flirtation so far. But it also puts them into a new dilemma where they have to figure out how their new dynamic works and what it means for their working relationship. Basically, sex in a romance story fills the same role as songs in a musical. Things get really emotional, or the story moves forward in a significant way. But D&D is designed to prioritize combat. The climax of a D&D adventure is usually a fight. The climax of a sexy RPG game is usually, well, you know.
What'd you tell us?
Yeah.
Super Geek Mike. Bruce, again, $5. This dude completely gives me vibes that he needs to meet Chippy. Modern day problems require modern day solutions. I'm with you there, brother. I'm with you. Thank you. Yin, $5. Here's some money for therapy after learning the new lingo. When we game, we want to keep strictly gaming. I want to know less about my players, not more. Yes, there you go. Styrion Moloch, $5. Look, I love me some vampires and probably half the other crap on the list. I don't need DM bad touch here, ruining it for me. Thank you. Yep, well said, Styrion. It's a weird combination.
This isn't offensive to me in any way, but I got to bounce.
Oh, yeah. No.
I just don't feel good.
No problem.
You got it okay?
I got it. You get
Yep.
some rest.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
I apologize for my coughing into the mic. I just don't feel like
no worries, Crazy
I
Mouse.
just
Yep.
don't feel good.
Rogan and I will we will handle things.
I promise this wasn't offensive.
Yeah, take care, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Crazymouse never gets sick, really.
This is an extreme rarity.
Yeah, this I can count on like one hand in the coming up on 30 years that I've known him that he's actually been sick. So yeah, when he wants to out, he's probably hurting a little bit more than even we think.
The mouse has an iron constitution.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. All right.
Now, I did look up how others have handled sexy times in their D&D games because I knew that we were not the first players to give this a try. And I found some really fascinating resources. I found a PDF of backgrounds and feats and spells and monsters and magic items to make your games more sexy. And this would actually be fantastic for a longer running campaign, but I found that it was adding too much complexity to this one shot. But I still think it's useful, and if you're interested, it is in the description below. But I also found an adventure called D&D Sexy House Party, which was all about the party exploring a house full of debauchery and fighting a cult. And this definitely gave me some inspiration for how to run my own adventure. Now, this satisfied the sexy aspect of the game. It invites the players to have lots of romantic encounters with many of the NPCs they encounter throughout the house. But that didn't really offer the best scenario for pre-planned boyfriends and more formal courtship. So these were basically the three masters I had to figure out how to satisfy. If you want to play D&D, you want to fight some monsters. If you want to model the tropes from romance books, you need the space for the players who have an evolving relationship with their love interests. And if you're playing a sexy D&D game, then you want your characters to fuck. However, the one detail I really liked from the Sexy House Party that would work for my game was the idea that there were characters wearing animal masks. A masquerade ball would be a great opportunity.
Oh, furries! Oh my God! I'm shocked. I'm outraged. Didn't see. I was going to say them.
Shazam!
Where did that come from? Where's all this coming from? Characters with animal masks? Oh my Lord!
Oy.
Yeah, eyes wide shut, furry style. The then
for all these characters to come together for some sexy dancing with paramours. So I sort of adapted that. Plus, I could lift the villain from Sexy House Party and use her to turn everyone else in the ball into a monster based on whatever mask they were wearing, and then that would fill the house with enemies. Then the players and their lovers, or their future lovers, could retreat and hide in a room, and then that would be an enclosed space where everyone would have to sleep for the night, but then they could sort of couple off and canoodle. And then they could emerge the next morning and have their big fight. That's where I made my big mistake, by the way, but we'll get there.
What
so
did you do to deserve
the
this?
sponsor of today's video, and I found some maps of different rooms of the mansion that I could use in the game.
I thought you'd want it.
The girl
That's
who was
all.
actually hosting the session
Actually,
has a
just
projector on
blame
the
Yin.
wall, so I could take one of these maps and shine it on the wall.
You could just blame
and the players could
Zolyan.
see exactly where they were in the room. I used this map for the ballroom where the characters have the masquerade ball, and this is where they all meet each other. This map was the library where I had them collect themselves after the attack, and this is the location of the final fight. And the cool thing about these maps is that they actually have descriptions built into the different locations on the map, so I could read off some narration as soon as they entered, but also as they asked.
Read off some narration. Boy, we got an experienced DM there.
That's clever stuff.
Paladin, $1.99. We need a new crusade against evil. I hear ya. The video sponsor has a sponsor. Yeah. Patrick, $2. My wife says, that guy isn't satisfying anyone.
I agree with your sweetheart.
Yeah, tell Joyce. Yes, exactly. Bruce again, $2. We need someone like Dog the Bounty Hunter for him. Ooh, baby.
It's about the golden statue or the skeleton on display. I could read that narration for them as well. And that's the cool thing about Describe. They have this really incredible team of writers that comes up with these fantastic descriptions of anything you might need in your games. You can find descriptions for NPCs, magic items, monsters, locations, other planes of existence, and way, way more. It's genuinely a useful tool. As you see, I used them when I was putting together this one-shot. And if you visit describe.com/supergeek and use the promo code SUPERGEEK at checkout, you could save 10% off of your first subscription payment. Once again, that's dscryb.com/supergeek and use the promo code SUPERGEEK at checkout. Thank you so much to Describe.
It is funny. There's a sponsor for this. The box text for this sex game must be lit. Yeah. Dear Penthouse Letters. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Dear Pirate Cat.
Here's Patty, who was the video sponsor. There you go, Patty. Now you know.
For sponsoring this video. So now it was time to run the adventure itself. Now, obviously this was a game that needed a lot of safety tools. After all, in my video about the D&D episode of Community, which hopefully is successfully re-uploaded, if so, there's a link right up here. But in that video, I talked about how
He'd offer him a
problematic
cigarette,
sex scene
Shark.
at a D&D table can be if everyone isn't 100% on board with role-playing sex at the table. So my first safety tool came in the form of the list I already sent to everyone. I had their list of tropes and kinks, so I basically already knew which sexy moments I had consent for. But I also knew that you can imagine how it might feel to roleplay something, but it can feel completely different when you actually experience it at the game table. So I needed to make sure my players had a way to let me know that things were going well, and maybe that they weren't. So I printed off some traffic light cards so they could hold up a green light to say, yes, keep going, even if their character was awkward or unsure. Again, a few of them were playing quivering virgins, their words, so they would be timid in a sexual scenario. And we needed a way to make sure that any such trepidation was just role-playing versus actually feeling uncomfortable in real life.
This is the most... It's weird because it's like the most kind of gross like detail, but also kind of boring yet kind of complicated.
You ever see the movie Amadeus? I think about
many years ago.
I see the one scene where Amadeus has this big thing going on. It's based off a Turkish brothel, and the king's his composer guy is there, and it's over with and. Well, the whole time the king's his composer's like chirping little words into the king's ear and that, and Amadeus is all excited, hey, what do you think? And the king goes, too many words. And Amadeus is crestfallen. Yeah. Too many words. Too many words. The king didn't have any idea what he's talking about.
Yep. Same thing here.
Too many words.
Yep. Yeah, if anything, I'm not sure how the game went, but the video could have used a little a second pass by him.
Show some sexy pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A little too much detail. I think he was padding it out for some reason, which you don't generally want to do. You generally want to kind of get right into things, and then you can kind of string things along just a bit later if you need to. I try not to do it at all, but Bruce Lombardo, Dick's Division, $5. I'd like to see this guy meet Leonardo Joni, the most vicious woman that should have been fathered by Don Rickles. Yeah, I was actually watching some of her stuff actually earlier today, Bruce. Yeah, she's funny. Very funny. Funnier than most male comedians these days. Doc Flamingo, $5. He missed a major opportunity not going for the Snap-on Tool sponsorship for this video. Ooh, baby.
I agree with that.
Thank you very much, Doc.
I was really proud of how well I introduced the love interests once the game actually began. We had the dashing prince courting the tiefling farm girl on the dance floor. We had
Tiefling farm girl.
The suave noble trading barbs
Tale
with
as
the
old
elven
as
princess.
time.
We had the blacksmith recruited to audition to be the wife of an orc chieftain, and she could push back against the objectification that he offers, which made her more attractive to him. And we had the hired thug who was secretly a werewolf and was going to keep anyone from escaping when shit hit the fan, but then he would wind up trapped with the party, and then I could put him in a position where he could have sex with the wizard. The only lover I didn't totally get right was the knight in shining armor, because if you go
Wish
too
I knew,
doting,
Paladin.
he feels
Wish I
condescending,
knew.
and that's not attractive. But go too far the other way.
I'll opine on that for a second. I mean, let's face it, most guys in the gaming sphere are a little bit more like this guy than probably like us. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all that this guy was able to get 50,000. I'm not sure how his videos do. I'm sure they probably do okay. I didn't even look at his metrics or anything, but yeah, this is the 5e. This is the 5e crowd here. This is right down. I was going to say right down the middle of the fairway, but this kind of takes it off that.
Yeah.
But honestly, he won't get any like blowback from this because pretty much they're all at heart like degenerate weirdos. And I'm not saying you have to be a prude. Obviously, I mean, I'm familiar with some of the stuff on that list, believe it or not, being married for, 30 years. But still, there's just a certain sense of decorum. Like we don't need that here. But generally speaking, yeah, this is the kind of guy that gets 50,000 in the D&D sphere.
A lot of thought and homework in putting that together. I'll give him that. putting this game together. But
Yeah.
probably more so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was promised stuff by his wife,
Yeah,
and
I hope
like
so.
you said, they're probably swingers. Boy, I don't want to be unkind, but I'm sort of picturing, chat, if you know what I mean, in my mind, what the chicks look like in this group, and I'm
reading these stories about these really athletic women going for the chubby guy. Wow, that's out of Penthouse magazine.
Yeah, there's I sort of know the kind of women who gravitate. I've been to conventions. God bless them. I've probably known guys on this sort of look level over the years, and a lot of them were very nice too. I also saw what they were pulling. Look, I mean that's life. I mean, there's a hard cap. There's a hard ceiling on what this guy can pull. You know what I mean? I mean, unless he's sitting on, $10 million that I'm not aware of, there is a hard limit. And I think that limit is a 3 out of 10. So.
And he's too passive as a character, and that's not really compelling. And I'm honestly not sure I got that balance right. I mean, 5 love interests going from strangers to passionate sex scenes in only a 3-hour session, I think I did pretty well, all things being equal. Now, one thing I do when prepping...
He's not shy about patting himself on the back. It's like the third time. I gotta say, I did that pretty good.
He reminds me of that Osment kid. He's an actor now, but he was in that Bruce Willis movie, I See Dead People, but he's all grown up.
Oh, Haley Joe.
Yeah,
Osment.
that's him.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He's in a movie, or I've seen a blurb about a movie recently, and he's got that. I mean, he's that guy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he does kind of have that. It's just kind of that soft.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to denigrate millennials more than I, but it has that kind of soft millennial, 35 to 45-year-old look. Just I don't know.
My game, especially a one-shot, is I divide up the session so I know what I hope will happen in each hour. The first hour would be spent introducing the love interests, and that went super well. Then the curse hits the house and everyone else transforms into monsters, and our heroes have to fight their way through and get to safety and hunker down and start coupling off. Then the rest of the game would be the romantic encounters, and then afterwards they would emerge and fight the big bad. Now honestly, I never quite managed to get the combat right. Combat in D&D 5e might be faster than it was in 4th edition or 3.5, but when you've got 5 new players plus some pretty important NPCs, it can still be really tough. But that being said, I still managed to get them into the library where they could barricade themselves in. Now I imagine this room would be where they spent the night. There was more or less enough room for everyone to go off into their own, into a corner or into a side room for some private intimacy. But the players decided to find somewhere else to hide for the night, specifically someplace with beds. Yes, good.
He didn't count on the fact that they may want to go to a bedroom.
Right.
Guys, why aren't you doing it on a hard library table like I wanted you to?
Right by the big bone dragon thing there. Skeleton there.
I guess he vastly underestimated his group's intelligence.
Call that. Probably would have been better if I'd planned it that way. But that meant they had to go back out into a hallway full of monsters, so there was another quick fight, and then we replayed the scene of barricading themselves in again to be safe from the monsters, so that took a little more time. But then each of the ladies claimed a bedroom, and then one by one, they worked up the nerve to invite one of the men into their rooms. Except, really what happened is my wife's character started playing matchmaker. My wife was incredible in this entire session. She was a great role player in the masquerade ball sequence, but she was also really good at picking up what I hoped was going to happen with each
I think
part
so,
of the
Patrick.
game.
I think so.
Anytime I was worried about the game starting to slow down, she was the first to jump in and get the group moving. And it got to the point where her character was literally playing matchmaker, such as when she physically pushed the wizard's intended love interest into the room with him, so they would have to spend the night together. Of course, then it was time for the actual romance scenes. And I know what you're wondering. How did I actually roleplay hardcore smut at the table? How did I know which words to use so it would be romantic and sexy and not silly or awkward? Well, once again, it's all thanks to today's sponsor, Scribe. No. I'm kidding. No. God, no. Can you imagine? No. Scribe has a pretty robust selection of scenes, but nothing explicit as far as I can tell. Although, if they want to change that, Scribe, drop me a line. I'll happily write some scenes for blowjobs or nipple play or whatever. But
yeah, I'm sure they want their product associated with this.
Yeah.
I think you just lost a sponsor, Mike.
In all seriousness, how did I narrate the actual sex in my game? Well, it helps that I've actually read some books in the romance/smut genre, so I know what works and what doesn't.
How about having been romantic over the years, Mike? How about having engaged in some of this stuff? You had to read a book to do this? Come on now. I think you could do better, as you folks like to say. Doc Flamingo, $2. Please tell me there were tables and charts involved. Yes. Well, Rogan was, positing earlier that, maybe he was going to play Fatal or had played Fatal. The vaginal circumference table.
I think it was Chris that popped in there that Fatal 2 came out last year, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah. I actually looked at it. I think I have a PDF of it.
Oh, really?
I do, yeah. They kind of tried to, play it straight, which the novelty's gone. It's I think it's kind of like the Sharknado sort of thing. It's it's never good, when stuff's sort of self-aware.
Right.
So I think they were sort of self-aware of what they were before.
Well, lightning can't strike twice.
Yep. Chris Miller, $5. I bet he knows how to give a BJ. You think so, Chris? I think so too. It's a good scene to stop on for that point, I must say. Bruce Lombardo again, $2. Thank you, sir. Today's sponsor is NordVPN. Hiding is good for you, yes. It would have been a little more apropos, I think, Bruce, for this video. You guys got to do some homework and see if Scribe ever sponsors any of his videos after this, or they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? We're done with you.
I know which kinds of metaphors and euphemisms tend to work well and which ones feel awkward. And now we're going to talk about a lot of these words, so for real, if you aren't down with some very colorful language, go ahead and dip out
5
now.
minutes left,
no hard
guys.
feelings.
5 minutes.
But just as an example, when a man is brought to completion, you can use phrases like, he shudders and digs his fingers into your shoulders, and you feel him release inside of you. That's generally more successful than saying something like, he blasts your pussy full of jizz.
I don't even think I can get it up from. I can't. This is going to be in my brain for a while.
He's got a demon inside of him. You can tell. I'll say the soft one, and then, but what I really want to say is he blasts your.
He's probably doing this for a group of swingers, but he's not involved. Mm-hmm. He's
always on the outside, always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah, watching his wife and all the other swingers doing their thing. He sits there with a cock cage on and tears in his eyes.
He blasts your pussy. Do not want to see this guy saying this kind of stuff. It's like finding an old sex tape of your grandma or something. I mean, good Lord, some naughty pictures or something. Yeah, well said, Paladin, for $4.99. Succinct and to the point. Yes. I'm thinking, can I do a drop on that? Of that what he just said, but that'll. It's like every live stream already gets demonetized, so I almost don't care. I may do it, but it's a little vile and vulgar. Yep, tabletop Ultra American, $2. I stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back. Yep. A little Nietzsche there, right?
I think so.
You can get the sense that that's not as sexy as the first option. There are certain words that are probably going to give everyone the giggles. Penis just sounds juvenile, or at best, it sounds too medical. Dick isn't much better. Cock is pretty good. I like cock.
I think I found my drop there.
I was just gonna say that.
I just gotta find the timestamp here. All right, that's 2014 in.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, that'll be done tonight.
I like cock.
I like cock. Oh, doctor. Well, you guys are chat's jumping on that one. Lord Otter, $2. I have one question. Why? I don't know. I wish I knew. Chris for $5. I stared into the abyss, and the abyss just on me.
I like cock. Oy.
And that pause should be long enough for you to make your GIFs and your memes. You're welcome. Now, when it comes to female anatomy, breasts are great.
He's a little self-aware there.
But
now
I
can't
really found
do
a
it.
great term
He's
to use
aware
for
of it.
the vagina when narrating. There are plenty of great words for other characters to use, like the NPC lover could say something like, "Your pussy is so wet." But as an omniscient narrator, I would much rather say, his hand slides between your legs and gently parts your lips, tracing your clit in a slow circle. That just works so much better than saying, he fingers your pussy.
This is just so... I guess he saved the best for last, because now I guess we're getting what we were promised.
I was kind of hoping could call it the snapper.
It reminds me of the Naked Gun when he's looking up. Nice beaver. And she's like, just had it stuffed. $5, Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division. And right before you can escape, the plant tentacle, Vor monster, steals all of your baby batter. We're communists, so it's actually our baby batter. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Bruce.
Wow.
Lighten it up tonight.
Bam.
Again, don't get me wrong. I like pussy. But I just don't find it's the best word for the narrator to use. But this honestly comes with a lot of practice. This might be the first X-rated D&D game I've run, but I've written sex scenes before when writing stories. I also used to be part of some erotic role-play communities online, and I'm also literally an OnlyFans model, so I'm used to role-playing sexual scenarios with other people.
But did he just say he's a OnlyFans model?
He did say that. He did.
Hold on, I gotta go back.
He did.
I gotta go back. I didn't realize that.
He did throw a couple pictures of him lounging around, barely dressed, earlier on in.
Let's see. But I just don't find it's the best word for the narrator to use. But this honestly comes with a lot of practice. This might be the first X-rated D&D game I've run, but I've written sex scenes before when writing stories. I also used to be part of some erotic role-play communities online, and I'm also literally an OnlyFans model, so I'm used to role-playing sexual scenarios with other people.
We heard it the second time, and it's still unbelievable. Whatever, dude.
I mean, this is an OnlyFans model?
Well, can imagine what his audience is. And I think everybody else on the chat can imagine the same thing.
I mean, I don't want to be unkind, but he's a little goofy.
Is his middle name Bear?
Wow. These like I said, these like late 30s, mid 40s, a lot of these millennial guys and that, they have no shame whatsoever. Oh my Lord. Soft as baby shit. Hit the fucking gym if you're going to be on OnlyFans. Oi, oi, oi. Ziggy zoggy, oi, oi, oi. Zillion. $2, bros. We will never be the same again, cursed. And it's all thanks to Zollian. You can blame him.
I think if we can get past this and get over it, it'll make us stronger.
Only a couple minutes left. We got to go to the end now. We have to. It's like a shared, it's like the last episode of MASH. Everybody will be like, oh, I was there when they saw Super Geek Mike's video. Lord Otter, $2. The Abyssal Jizzer has entered the chat. Oh boy. Is there really somebody? The Abyssal Jizzer. Black Lodge, good to see you here, boys. Millennial rejection of shame has been a catastrophe for the human race. Yeah. Not everyone. I always get a lot of things. Hey, Double D, not all of us. I understand that. There's obviously a lot of you millennials here. You're the good ones. But just, look, I see them at work. I see them in public. And yeah, they were told very early on, like, just keep going. This is the result. If you want to know what unbridled self-esteem, where it will get you, it'll get you here, where you're talking about this stuff matter-of-factly online. And just thinking like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, right?
Johnny, don't be sad that you didn't get first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, but you participated. So you get a trophy too. In fact, your trophy's bigger.
Could we have ever... Let's make it generational for a minute as Gen Xers here. Like, could we have ever, like, would you have ever thought of doing this? My thing would be like, okay, I don't announce it to, the whole world that I do this. There's certain parts in my world that know I'm a YouTuber, but often not. But I would always be thinking, what if someday, like, my sister saw this and I was doing, this kind of content.
Right. This guy has no shame.
I would be like, oh my God, I can't talk about this stuff.
You have something that they don't have, self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. Yep. North of the Rockies. I got to give you something here, my friend. See, Crazymouse, he sometimes skips like these ones.
You're what is best in men.
You are what is best in men, North of the Rockies. Thank you very much. $10. This will not kill me. I will become stronger. Keep believing that. Keep believing that. Yeah, self-esteem is something that one earns. Yeah, or you can always, look, we're in our 50s, and you can always just kind of keep a little bit of that low self-esteem, which I have. I know Rogan
I don't like
has
to call
a little
it low self-esteem, but it's true. I'd like to think I'm humble.
Yeah. You can dress it up like that,
right?
But it's always like sometimes they call it like rational uncertainty, versus irrational certainty. Like,
Absolutely.
I know everything. I'm good at everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do it. So I don't know. I guess I'd always rather err on the side of like, ooh, should I do this? Am I wrong about this?
That's called wisdom.
Yeah, but so many of these people nowadays, they really don't believe that. Bruce Lombardo, $5. I super chat so much we can break up this loser's speech. This guy is telling me your campaign is in Thirsty Sword Lesbians without telling me. Yeah,
Not bad.
God. Oy, oy, oy. Thank you, Bruce. Yes, you are
You
lighting
are-
up the scoreboard.
You're onto something right there. Does this guy, have sisters or daughters?
Yeah.
I know he's shooting for a specific crowd, but this is YouTube. YouTube's open to everybody.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, trust me. Sometimes I get ashamed, like, oh, I use too many F words. I use the F word too much, and during that stream, or ooh, maybe I shouldn't have talked about that. Even though I think there is a difference between kind of poking fun at this kind of stuff versus, full all out engaging in it.
Or text. But then after the sexy times were over, we were running out of time in the session, and so the final fight was so rushed. I literally just told each of them, just tell me how you're throwing a weapon or casting a spell, and we'll narrate how you killed the mistress together. It was not satisfying, and honestly, I don't think it worked. If we'd had another half hour of game time, I could have done a much better job, but honestly, this was always going to be the hard part of running the session, was trying to basically have a dramatic action climax immediately after a series of sexual climaxes. There's a reason most sex scenes in action movies don't happen in the third act. They pretty dramatically screw with the flow of the adventure, no pun intended. If I were going to run another X-rated one-shot, I'd really prefer to do it in a system that wasn't designed around violence. And if I ran an X-rated campaign, I think I would feel a lot more freedom to just allow the sex scenes to happen naturally rather than trying to rush to include one for each player in the same session. And honestly, the whole experience was still a ton of fun, even though I didn't totally nail every aspect.
Okay, so first off, Triple B, Boss Bully Boy, $5. Boomers, when you get older, you'll think the next generation is into silly things, too crazy to Gen X. Watching millennials, yes. It's like millennials are always like, oh, I can't wait till all these boomers die off. Like I said, I think last week, like you really want that? Guess who's number one on the list after that? Because there's something pretty much everybody agrees. I'll tell you what, if there's a way you can kind of say it without saying it, Patrick, your website, like something and then writeout.com, just put that in the chat if you could. And then Rogan, if you could look out for that and give me the heads up when Patrick has said that. Thank you. And thank you, Triple B, Boss Bully Boy. Coming up on the end here, guys.
I'd love to take another shot at another horny D&D game. I mean, even hornier than the average D&D game. And even though D&D isn't necessarily the best system for it, that doesn't mean that you can't still run a standard missionary position D&D game where the only difference is that we don't fade to black when the characters get intimate. And once again, even though it wasn't right for the one-shot I just ran, I could look at something like the Erotic Arcana PDF of sexy rules for D&D and use those to run a hornier game. But again, there are also other games that are literally designed for this. Like, I haven't played Monster Hearts, but I did watch 4 seasons of The Vampire Diaries, which is kind of the tone that Monster Hearts is going for, so I could probably run a game of a bunch of supernatural horny teenagers railing each other. And there are probably other games as well. Like, I've heard Vampire the Masquerade can get kind of freaky. So for those of you who are a little bit more experienced with other TTRPGs, especially indie games, let me know your recommendations in the comments below. No matter what system you use, the most important goal is getting player buy-in. Obviously, there were a lot of challenges I covered in this video, discussing kinks, safety tools, etc. But if I was running a campaign, there would be another huge challenge that didn't apply to the one-shot. If the sex scenes are just going to happen more organically and you're not steering the entire session toward making them happen, you need to make sure everyone is okay with just sitting and waiting and listening as one party member has a sex scene. The reason that wasn't an issue this time is because everybody knew they were all going to get their turn. But I'd also want to make sure that I knew how often the other players wanted sex scenes to pop up in the campaign. Every couple sessions? Once every session? Multiple times every session? That is something we would all have to be on the same page about before we even got around to creating characters. Because if the players aren't in agreement about the frequency of fornication, then somebody's going to wind up having a bad time. Having to fit 5 love interests in at the same time was also really hard. It might actually be more fun to run a standard campaign, but just have a whole bunch of hot guys who match what the players are looking for from their lovers, and then see what happens as the game continues. I mean, something like Curse of Strahd has a lot of potential paramours. I typically run that with all intimacy handled off-screen, but I could easily imagine a game where any of the sexy NPCs could actually become serious romantic partners. And considering how many of them might have very different morals than the heroes, that could actually be fascinating. There's a lot of room there for enemies to lovers.
Good Lord. Hey, Patrick, I put my email address there. If you want to send it to my email address, then I can, I'll call it out that way. $2. Mark Morrison. This one shot took place at the Blue Oyster Bar.
Yeah. The Velvet Spike.
Yes. Silver Slipper.
Of course, I'm in the middle of a
Let's
bunch
go
of
back.
campaigns that have been on pause for several months, so I definitely shouldn't even begin to speculate about running any new games until after I've resumed those sessions. I don't want to leave anybody feeling unsatisfied. I want to finish what I've started. Hey, Odwick?
What's up?
Is there any chance this video doesn't get demonetized?
Videos typically only get flagged by users who report the videos to YouTube, so you should be fine as long as everyone is cool.
You hear that, everybody? Be cool. You know what you're...
Be cool, chat. Be cool. Don't ever F with people.
Watching when you clicked on this video, you knew it was going to get spicy. Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Be cool.
Come on. Be cool.
Do agree with them there.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw here today, make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell. You can join my Patreon or become a YouTube member to help me stay liquid. You can join my Discord to be a part of a whole group of fans. And you can sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date. Too much?
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Fair enough. Make sure to check out this video right here where I describe the lessons I learned from another game I ran. That video was a lot of fun. Until next time, play fair and have fun.
And protect all the kids.
Yeah.
Is this sexy? I'm going for sexy.
OnlyFans model.
I think I nailed it.
This kind of has dead eyes a little bit. Just a little.
Now,
we made it.
Yeah, we made it.
We made it.
Is everybody okay? If you're not, let us know. If you are, let us know. Is everyone all right?
We'll decompress.
This is an experience.
And then we got the weekly crazy video too.
Absolutely. Oh, that wasn't the crazy video?
that was not
okay, all right.
Not the crazy video.
Oh, we got a little palate cleanser going on now.
What'd you think of that, chat? Something else, huh? All right, I got that email, by the way, Patrick. One moment. Guys can help out. Patrick Demo lost his job.
That blows. That angers me.
Tell you what, we'll go right back for our friend. Ooh, that don't look good.
Whoa, look at it.
Never looks good. That looks good. Guys, go to pointyhat.games.
Easy peasy.
This is a pretty good card game here. Mrs. D and I got this we bought this from Patrick and his lovely wife at Gen Con. You guys can help him out. And it's not like you're like, oh, it's charity. No, it's actually a pretty cool little game. Something you can take if you're going out, one-on-one with like a friend or like I said, your wife. Just kind of take it with you. Play a nice little relaxing game. It's not too taxing on the brain, but it is fun.
I got that. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
I also got the pin. I love the pin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Brimley.
Yep. Guys, help them out. Brimley. Get the Brimley pin. PointyHat.games.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing
sucks
that.
to see whatever brothers that have to go through some bullshit like this.
You'll land on your feet, though. You'll land on your feet. Yep. Thank you, Cal. Yeah, Cal just put it in the chat too. Thank you, buddy. Is Disco leaving?
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Disco, where are you going? No, you can't go. Get your ass back here.
If you have to leave, you better hit that light.
Thank you, DB. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, that was something. Moral of the story, don't do that. Don't do what he just did, or you're going to have knuckleheads like me gawking at you on the internet, wondering, why are you doing this?
Those guys, Double D and his friends are so juvenile.
Yeah. I'm not juvenile. I don't want to hear a 38-year-old guy, saying, come in my,
They must be real boomers.
Oh. Ay. All right.
Well, all right. That put a little, it gave us everyone an extra wrinkle in your brain.
Yep. All right. Back to the crazy stuff.
Let's do this.
All right. Now, there's been something going around that Kamala Harris might have a drinking problem. like she did like some sort of farewell address, and people were wondering, like, she looks like she's had a few. This is her on Broadway this week. You tell me, Rogan. Little tipsy or not?
For those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant, and it's just the nature of it. Look at this beautiful play and everything that we know. He was suppressed. He had to suppress so much, but he knew, and he took those risks. But we have to.
It's beautiful.
Keep a clear eye, and it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything, right? These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against something.
Profound, yes.
And that's our optimism, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll leave it.
She seemed a little glassy-eyed. I wouldn't call her like full-on 3 sheets to the wind, but a little glassy-eyed.
I would just say an extra handful of minutes after that, that's when it kicks in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably 3 glasses of wine there.
Yeah.
But she's probably a pro, so she's probably just getting her drink on.
Her handler wasn't doing their job.
All right, I'm gonna throw you guys violently into something.
All right, let's do this.
We all know Taco Bell can be taco hell at times, right?
Right.
What if you saw this at your local Taco Bell?
She's stealing the hot sauce?
Wow. That is brutal.
Whoa.
Damn.
I said I don't know.
Ouch.
Context.
Yeah. I could be a little hard on the sisters at times.
Right.
I don't know what happened before this, but generally speaking, your security guards should not be slapping anybody like that unless they're...
No, yeah, just usher them out the door.
Yeah, unless they're really causing a scene and you have to protect someone, that's one thing. But holy smokes, that sister got smacked.
Yes.
That sounds like a lawsuit waiting
That had a
to
good
happen.
echo to it, good sound to it.
Yeah, he got his money's worth on that one. Oof. Bruce, MVP of the night, $5. Why is it always the Tumblr Art 5e crowd trying to cram all of gaming into the square hole? Yeah, like I said, we have to understand even though we were here first, we're being in some ways supplanted. Now, we sort of hope that they lose interest and move on, but I'm not seeing a lot of Robert E. Howard fans coming up, in the 20 and 30-year-old crowd. Yeah. What can you do?
Oh yeah, what was that dude you had on quite a while back? He had his review of Conan.
Oh, the book reviewer guy. I can't remember it. Yeah, they're mostly guys like that. Yeah, mostly guys like that.
Get out of here! Get away from me! 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 Get away from me!
Brutal. Brutal.
Wow.
Oof.
The older I get, I'm like, okay, the security guard did what he had to do.
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing with this one. I mean, there's not a lot of context there. I don't.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience side with the security guard on this. I just can't. I've looked for ways, and I'm like, even if she's like homeless and won't leave or something, that's when you call the police and be like, hey, we got a homeless person here who's causing drama or whatever. You just can't do that. Yeah. Can't do that, guys. Can't do that. Don't do that.
Julia's comment there: pimp slap modifier +5.
Yeah, Julio Scissors. That's okay, Double D. I'll side with him for you. Okay. I give you my permission.
I'm also part of marginalized groups that have been historically oppressed, and it's like, keep on raising awareness and slaying. I hope that we reach more equity soon.
We actually have a equity commitment form. You can actually give up your spot at university for a member of the Tongva tribe. Is this something that you'd be willing to do for this underrepresented, underprivileged community?
Honestly, no, but I hope somebody else does. That's
Yep, modern leftism in 20 seconds.
great.
Not currently. I would need to think about it more.
I personally don't view myself as privileged. I don't think I would be willing to give up my spot at UCLA.
It's never me.
That my ethnicity's representation is also important.
Isn't there a white guy you can foist it on?
I'm a black student.
Who should we find to give up their spot?
That's a tough question. Anybody that is willing and feels that they're represented in the right way here.
You know what I mean? I can't make a split-second decision.
That's a good one. That's what they do.
Oh man,
that's what they do.
We're all for everyone giving up their shit for the underprivileged, but I'm not going to do that. I won't be accurately represented.
No. All right. Here's another lunatic. I think this is a Turning Point USA. I think it's essentially just like on a campus somewhere, just young college Republicans just setting up a tent at some probably event or festival. And this is when you announce that you are a conservative or a Republican or a Trump, especially MAGA these days, this is what you have to deal with.
Hey! What, you're worried I'm going to stain your fucking signs that are telling lies to people?
Yeah, now you may at first be like, oh, geez, it's a woman doing it. No, it's a troon, as always.
For a second there, I was going to say nice butt, but I'm not going to say that.
yeah, please don't. No, it's a troon. It's a troon. This is what you deal with when you...
What happened to tackling the person? You know what? Our generation... Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that person wouldn't be standing.
Yeah. Yep. Just beat their face in. Beat their face in.
No? How about crumple to the ground?
Yep. Bruce, $5. Make sure you shame those that dead name the Gulf of America. Yes. I will not put up with anybody saying Gulf of Mexico. It's a man, baby.
I tried to talk to you, assholes. I just tried to talk to you.
These are violent, mentally ill people.
It's pathetic. What's even more pathetic is no one's doing that.
I think we're good.
It's just okay to watch a person have their moment. Yeah. If you just more confused and delusional.
Do you want to get in this scene out?
That's throwing it personally on them now.
I just.
Hello. Could you please not do that?
Why?
Because this is our stuff.
Can you please not do this?
We're allowed to table here. We actually have a permit.
Yeah?
Yeah, we do.
I'm not touching you. I'm grabbing your phone.
Well, that's yeah. You can't touch his phone.
I'm not touching you. I'm grabbing your phone.
Yeah.
Covering the
Just
Oh,
a simple
God.
tap to the throat. Just a simple tap to the throat.
Double D can throw a punch. I have a couple shorts where I hit the heavy bag. Boy, I'm just fantasizing right now being this close to somebody who, to me, is a clear and present danger, who's a threat to my very existence because they've showed that they're mentally ill and they're about ready to do something. Oh, a nice Tommy Hearns overhand right to that chin. Oh, break the jaw.
You're not touching.
Piece of shit.
Because we have a right to be here.
Fucking
Why are you
troon
here?
piece of shit.
I have a right to be
Care
here.
about kids. We care
Okay, so why are you damaging our stuff?
And you're right, Rogan. Why isn't there somebody with a baseball bat?
Yeah, or just honestly, I mean, like this. What guy's he's a $1.15 right there, soaking wet with his wig on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
Yep.
That shit didn't last when we were,
No, you wouldn't have done that.
Oh my God.
No.
That dude would have been on the ground being dragged away to underneath a tree with a bunch of dudes kicking the poop out of him.
Absolutely.
Whether you agree with the guy or not, you don't do that to somebody. You don't do it to a group of people.
No, I wouldn't. It's always them doing it. Why is there never video of like a Kamala table or tent being vandalized or destroyed? I mean, you may get people trying to do interviews or, like, hey, talk to us or whatever. It's never. It's because we're not crazy and they are.
I just hate that brazen, that brazen attitude, that self-righteous.
Yep, absolutely.
Your dad did you wrong, boy. Your old man did you poor.
Yep.
There's a way.
Yeah.
Eden's $10. I'll tell you why this never got solved. Because anyone in our generation who did stand up to this got actively punished by teachers growing up. Yeah. If you fought back when getting bullied, you got in trouble. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But it was worth it.
Yeah.
I had no shame when I was a kid. Not like no way. I'll go in the principal's office. What's that person gonna do? No one can beat my ass better than my old man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That person would be on the ground. That dude would be dragged off. He just
Yep.
Holy cow.
Thank you, Edens, by the way. Thank you very much.
The tolerant left.
We do have to stop saying that. We know now it's a fact they're not tolerant. Just, I don't know what you can say, the left that should be bulldozed into a gigantic hole in the ground.
Killdozer.
Yeah, go killdozer.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
How old do you reckon that croc is?
It's pretty big. It's probably pretty old.
124 years old.
Holy shit.
1903.
Wow.
Name of Henry.
Wow.
Yo! This is cool. I haven't felt scared of anything in a long time, so right now, this is amazing.
Look at that thing.
All his girlfriends are behind me.
That is cool.
The oldest croc
all of his bitches behind him
in the world.
We don't have to.
Oh, okay. So here's I think I said last week, there's an inverse kind of correlation between, I think, your sanity and your hatred of Trump. The more you hate Trump, the more insane you are. I think it's with Elon. It's almost the same, but it's like almost your intelligence. I mean, it's a little bit your sanity, but it's also your intelligence. So this is a guy just trying to talk to a woman. And listen how reasonable the guy is. And, when you see a woman who looks like this, you pretty much know.
Hey.
My heart.
Why do you get so emotional though? Stop. Let's just have a conversation.
We need to weed out a political affiliation.
Ma'am.
It's free speech.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, we're talking. It's good. All good.
You want to give your thoughts? It's just a U.S. flag with the hunter stuff. It's a hunter's hat. It's no political. I promise.
It looks political.
It's not political. I promise. This is just a brand.
Why are you wearing it then?
Because it's cold. So it's Cabela's. You never heard of Cabela's?
Oh yes, I've heard.
Yeah. So like this.
Oh, yes, I've heard.
The flag used in ways that's very disrespectful.
Okay.
And my parents were both in World War II.
I can see that.
I think it's a symbol, and I think that you're trying to make a statement.
I promise you, I'm not. honestly, I got this as a gift.
Oh, honey.
I promise you.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Let me see what's even on here.
Oh, you're so innocent.
Yeah, I mean, it's got geese and elk. I mean, this is what Oregon's about. It's kind of like an Oregonian thing. You don't like that?
You're so innocent.
Come on.
Give me a break.
Hold on.
You act like
Give me a break.
you act like I have Trump's face on here or something. This is just a hunting thing.
You're so innocent, honey. Come on, give me a break. Pretend I'm your mama.
I know.
Pretend I'm your.
These women are evil. Like there's like a touch of the devil, I would say, in these women.
Mama, pretend.
Yeah.
Really, lady?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than like when a woman goes bad. That's why we're always like the Susan Smiths of the world. The chick who drowned her kids. Like we're always like revolted. You know, there's an inherent like we understand it happens, but I think there's just an inherent, almost evolutionary revulsion towards women who don't act sort of
nurturing
in a nurturing or sane way. When they kind of go haywire like this, I understand all women are a little crazy, but there's a difference between a little crazy, like normal crazy, and this crazy.
See the crazy when you're at home with your husband.
Yes, yeah. There's kitchen table crazy, and then there's standing outside screaming at a guy about his hat crazy.
Being all melodramatic. Oh, you're so innocent.
Yeah, how many times did she say that so far?
A bunch.
I will. My mom died last year, so I would love that.
I am so sorry. That's
You really
a
think
story, too.
You really think this is like I'm trying to like be malice out here?
Tell
Like
me what you think of Elon
like
Musk.
I have bad intentions with this hat.
No, tell me what you. I think Elon Musk has bad intentions.
We can't talk about Elon until
and
we
you
get
just
over this
said that.
because you're like thinking I'm out here trying to.
Elon Musk has bad intentions. Thank you. I totally agree. Have a great day.
You know what? Elon Musk should be.
That's where the idiocy like comes in. These people are stupid. Like, oh, I gotcha. Oh, I gotcha. Yum.
President in 2028. What do you think about that?
I think that Elon Musk has no skills and no ability.
Well, he's a rich.
No skills and no ability.
Oy.
Yeah. Guys, people like this, like if you are a registered Democrat, like why these are the people that are sitting next to you. Why would you want to be associated with these lunatics? And I understand there's lunatics in every party, but in the same respect, there is a lot of these people now.
This is the kind of lady that, all her grievances against her children will bottle up and just explode at the dinner table at Thanksgiving. She's one of those self-righteous, knock down your children because she has something to say and she needs to say it.
You could see a little preview there, like, I slave every day over this stove and you kids don't give me any respect. Blah, 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 blah. Kids are probably just like, okay.
I'm not watching your kids anymore.
It's what it probably is too. We're assuming she does have kids. She may not, but like at a certain point, the kids... It has no effect because it's happened so often. Yes. So the kids probably at a certain point just look at each other and either grin or laugh while she's in the middle of this.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
Yeah, here it comes. And then they're probably like, oh boy. And she's like, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at me?
No more wire hangers.
Yeah, no wire hangers ever.
He cheats, he lies, he steals, and he bought a presidency. He has done nothing original other than to create things off of other people's ideas.
Oh, that's the latest thing. Yeah, that's the latest thing.
You think that Elon Musk is
Honey,
Tesla and SpaceX? Hold on, we don't have to. Hey.
Break my heart. Why?
I have one of these ladies living a couple doors down, like this, who would act like this. Oddly enough, I mean, she's got some mental issues. I mean, she's had, suffered some tragedies, but
legit.
Yeah. But it's like, I understand. That's fine. Be as crazy as you want, but this is who's driving the bus over there. That's why you need to get off of the bus.
That is bad.
you are being. This is who is literally steering your bus. You know, as we know, over a cliff.
Yeah.
But if you're a regular dude, say you're a guy like this, you know, who's obviously a Republican, but still, even if you're just kind of like a normal guy, why would you want to listen to this person as someone in authority?
Why do you get so emotional though? Stop. Like, let's just have a conversation. I want to hear what you think.
I mean, there's really no difference between this old chick and like an AOC or you know, a Maxine Waters. I mean, they're all about the same intelligence wise and crazy wise too.
I have a. Hey, ma'am.
Oh, your mama died last year.
Ma'am,
sorry.
Ma'am, it's okay.
Have a good day.
Listen, ma'am, if you're.
So he just kind of put in there, like, you know, she said some comment about his mother, and he's like, oh, my mom died last year. And she even had to make that smarmy.
Yes.
Just a slithering creature.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Don't.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, he called her ma'am.
Oh.
Call me ma'am.
Sir?
Call me sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Okay, whatever you want to be called. Whatever you want to be called. Why are you so upset? Why are you letting politics get you so upset? Like, don't you see that we're just human beings?
If there's one interaction, like a 10-second clip of one interaction, it's her freaking out and him saying, like, why are you so upset? Like, why can't we talk just like human beings? This is the current divide between left, right, if you will, you know, sort of Democrat, Republican. This is it right here in this 10 seconds.
Seriously. You think completely different from me. I don't think ill of you. You've treated me so disrespectfully right here, and I still don't think less of you.
Don't point your finger.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Don't point your finger. Oh God.
We need that security guard to run in here and straighten her out.
yeah, exactly. Where's that Taco Bell security guard when you need him?
Somebody give him a call.
I didn't mean this.
You did certainly mean that.
No, I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Trump. You want Elon Musk Trump to be the president.
So just because I have certain political beliefs, you think you're going to treat me like that? Is what you're saying? Okay, that's insane to me.
You know, it is absolutely dynamic to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see stuff like that, regardless of what the reason is, you know, rational speaking, being rational, talking reasonable to someone that is just going to lose their crap. That is just that's just so much about that person losing their shit. It really does. You can't. That guy will never win, and he knows it. He's not trying to provoke her. Mm-hmm. He's trying to peel it back. The other gentleman seemed like he was like on his side, like trying to tell her to calm down. This woman, this is what she wants. Like I said, she's got a bomb waiting for her family at the dinner table on Thanksgiving coming up here, where she's going to let everything loose. And like you said, her adult kids are used to it. They have a Deadpool going on. So when it's going to happen,
I've gotten so good. Maybe you have too. Like, I see someone like that, I'm like, I'm always like, and then you can't. It's not 100%. But when they start opening their mouth and they say 3 sentences, you pretty much know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh, okay, yeah. Stay away from this chick.
What political thing, direction? Crazy's crazy.
Yeah, but they're all the crazy people are on one side right now. I mean, it's pretty much it. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, all right, not all, but like 90%. I mean, and it is something like, oh, well, there's crazy people everywhere. It's like, I understand, but if you have 9 of them over here and 1 of them over here, don't you think we ought to work on the side with the 9 crazy people, first?
Mom, I just saw Grandma on the television. She was yelling at this guy about his hat.
Yeah.
That's why we don't go
Very
to Grandma's
proud.
house anymore.
Very proud. Now, Rogan, I'm going to show you something.
All right.
Maybe you saw it. And I'm only showing it to you because nobody died. But did you know there was a plane crash up in Toronto?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Well, the funny thing about that. All right. So this is the raw footage, which I found fascinating. Only because nobody died, I'm going to show it. If somebody had died, I would not, of course, do that. That would be very disrespectful. But I think everybody's okay, more or less. Oh, not that. Jeez, what are you doing, Double D? Wrong video. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Double D has to look at something here. All right. Boom.
Okay. It flipped over.
Yeah. Did you see how hot that thing is coming in?
Wow.
That thing is coming in, and somebody will talk about it. I'm not getting any audio here, but holy shit, that's coming in like a plane on an F-18, like on an aircraft carrier. Like, you've flown before, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, like when you want a nice soft landing, you'll feel the nose kind of gently, kind of rise a little bit. This thing is coming in like a missile. One more time.
It's got, yeah.
Oh my Lord.
It hits,
it's a miracle that nobody's.
It hits the ground there, going a gazillion miles an hour.
Yes.
Shatters the landing gear.
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
Well, Megan, thanks for having me back again.
I heard the plane flipped over, but I imagined it very different than that.
Well, I found this. This is, of course, the great Megan Kelly. She had a pilot on, an actual pilot. There's people are starting to wonder, like, well, who was the pilot in this plane? And it's Endeavor Air, which is a sub airline of Delta. Delta is extremely like woke and like in on the DEI. So let's see what this guy has to say from the Megan Kelly show.
Sadly, under these circumstances, or actually since everybody got out, I guess we're okay. Megan, the first thing when I saw the in-cockpit video this morning, I heard you reading your email in the last block there. Then I guess I can talk like this. That jet was coming down like a turd off a tall moose. Landing an F-18 aboard an aircraft carrier, our average rate of descent is about 800 feet per minute. And I think the last flight tracker data that I saw for this RJ was about 1,100 feet per minute. So that RJ came down a lot faster and harder than I would have landed aboard the boat. And I think, one of the officials yesterday or last night said, hey, crosswind wasn't an issue. Whenever anything like this happens, Megan, I grab my aviation app and I immediately look at the weather, see what the weather is. And landing on runway 23, the winds were out at 270, so about 40 degrees off the nose or down the runway in really gusty conditions. So it looks like this airplane didn't really have too much of a flare, which is when you get close into the runway, we pull the nose back, pull back on the throttles and kind of do that nice, what we as Navy pilots would say, Air Force landing. But this landing was hard, and it looks like it sheared off the right main landing gear, took the wing with it, and then the only wing that was left, the left wing, still producing lift, they kind of corkscrew and roll down the runway. But my God, we jokingly in aviation say any landing we can walk away from is a good landing. That was a pretty bad landing, and thank God a lot of people walked away.
Take care of some of these super chats. Bruce again. $5. I found out during the Biden era, we had 1,000 plane crashes a year. If you have less than a score happen under Trump, and the mainstream media will not relate. Yeah. It's obviously, you always have they'll include any incident in that. I think we just had one today over a couple of small planes, and they're already saying like, oh, it's because they're taking, they're firing air traffic controllers. I don't think that's the case. I think Trump said I think Elon Musk said he wants to redo the whole air traffic control system with his SpaceX engineers, which you would normally think, oh, that's a good thing. How old is this system? These are the people that can design a rocket that can come back down and land for the first time in human history. Maybe we ought to give them a go, but of course they won't because of old ladies like that before and the weak men who listen to them, who will tell you like, oh, well, Elon's just after your personal data. If somebody says that, call them a fucking retard because that's exactly what they are. $2 again, Bruce. Man, you are getting your money's worth today. Boeing became a meme during the quiet Biden time. Yes. Yep. And this is Delta. Now we're gonna see a little bit more here, Bruce. All right, this is Endeavor Air. This is the company. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Your flight is unmanned today.
Oh, that was clever. Oh.
Now I should be clear here. I do not know who was flying that plane. It could very well have been two men. Could have been a man and a woman. Could have been two women. They have not. They have not announced it yet, but if you've ever noticed, whenever there's like a crime where there's like a murder, if it's a white guy who does it, they'll immediately say, oh, it was this guy. If they keep holding off
Right.
I think they call it like Ann Coulter's law. The longer they hold off, the greater the chances. Like in a crime, it's probably a black guy who did it. In this case, I think the longer they hold off, maybe a woman or two in that cockpit. I don't know. We'll have to see. I reserve judgment.
Girls, come on.
This is from the airline. This is, I think, the Endeavor Air TikTok.
Leave the saving the world to the men? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Live fast, die young.
No, we ain't giving no hold. I ain't Romeo and I'll hold. Making a party, chocolate Barbie, waiting on me for.
It's exactly what you want when you step on your plane, right?
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
What is your name as a group?
The Click. Click or click? Click. Let's do it.
Now, if a bunch of dudes did that, would there be a blowback on that?
I mean, I would hope real men would never do that. I could see people like Super Geek Mike doing stuff like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think dudes in this. I believe that dudes in this case would take their job more serious than this.
I saw a good meme, and it was for $100 upcharge, you will get a 50-year-old pilot named Steve. That's how you know all this stuff is bullshit. Because when push comes to shove, when you're putting your kid on a plane, oh hey, you're going over to Europe or wherever, have fun.
Right.
If you see that the click in the crew,
yeah,
you're gonna be shitting your pants if you're a parent, rightfully so, because they could be very skilled, or they could be a product of policy. In this case, promote diversity and inclusion in all aspects of the airline.
How about excellence? How about skill and excellence?
You'd think you'd want excellence and literally the best. And if the top 100 pilots are all old white guys, guess what? Yeah. That's who gets the job.
It was a giant block of stone as a great pilot. I'm kind of referring to Star Wars there.
Yeah.
As long as that block of stone was the best.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I don't know what can you say?
It's disappointing.
They're all hypocrites, because they'll sit there and say, oh, this diversity is great, or I wouldn't have a problem with that. You put your kid on a plane and you see the click there, you're gonna be shitting your pants.
Yeah.
Did they earn that? How did they earn it? Did they really earn it?
Like, doesn't the airline want to promote a little bit of professionalism?
I mean, I would just want just safety. I mean,
oh man,
I'm gonna give you, Bruce, something that doesn't get used a lot.
Oh, did he just cross that border?
I think so. Send him back with his whole. Send him back with Slowpoke Rodriguez too, if he got over. $10, Bruce. Thank you so much. So if you hear Dean Martin or Old Blue Eyes crooning from the cockpit, you're going to land safely at your destination. If you hear Taylor Swift, just debark and leave your luggage. Yeah, maybe the best decision you've ever made. Well, you had an experience with one of these women pilots on your honeymoon, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to. Went to.
This is a while ago, but still
in the 90s there. Little airport in Boulder City. We already booked it prior to us going to Vegas, and we got there. checked in. It's a small little airport at the time. I don't even know what's there anymore, probably. But we sat there, and they say, your pilot will come out in just a minute. And we're sitting on this nice bench thing. And about 10 yards away, there's the doors. Here comes this guy walking in there. Like, that's our pilot right there. No, not our pilot. Here goes another fella going through.
I'm just the janitor.
This guy, the other guy comes. The guy kind of had a rugged look in that, and that was the flying to Vegas. Number one was the first time I flew, and I'm not good with heights, and I handled the flight there pretty good, but I was terrified. I was terrified. So, this situation right here, I was already afraid. So, the fourth person goes through. It's this guy. No. And then the fifth person walking through was this pert little creature, this little young lady. She walks right up to us.
Young lady.
Yes, young lady.
Young lady.
And she says, hi, I'm Casey. I'll be your pilot. I have my mouth closed, and she was cute as a button. And my wife says, no, you're not.
For the viewers at home, your wife is still pretty liberal. I mean,
Very.
Right? Yeah.
Very.
Which proves my point.
Yeah,
when your own safety or your kid's safety are involved, all that shit goes by the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that, and from that point on, it got.
So you went up a little bit with Casey,
we
right?
got in there. We were walking, on the whatever it is. We passed a plane that's got 2 motors. That's a big one. We're not going to go in that one. Oh, there's one that's got 2 motors, but it's a little smaller. It's kind of, the 3 Bears kind of thing. We get to the last plane. It's this wee little plane, and I'm like, but this is a freaking kite. And,
kite. It's a kite.
Yeah. Oh, get in. I sit up front with the pilot, Casey, cute as a button, and my wife's sitting on a little bench in the back, and she's got the camcorder, and I'm absolutely terrified. Honestly, I am terrified, and we're kind of going down the runway, and it's a hopping and bouncing a little bit. We get off the ground, and I'm looking down because I'm a sadist to myself, and we're going higher. Then all of a sudden the ground comes up like a bullet. Whoosh. I feel like I'm floating and stuff like that.
She did like a free fall.
Oh, we do that. Get higher.
She cut the engine on you like a stunt plane.
And I was so afraid I hit this calmness. It just hit me like lightning.
I will die today. Yeah.
And I gave up. I said I give up to it. I'm going to die. I can't. I honestly. It wasn't okay dying, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to die, and I'm just not going to fret right now. So we're flying, and we're doing this for a little bit. We're getting higher, then we drop, getting higher, drop, and I get this pain in my shoulder, like holy cow! And I got the ear, the ear thingies on, and I could hear the Casey talking. She's talking to the people at the traffic control there, and I got this pain. I go, holy cow! And I turn around to my left. And my wife has flown across the Atlantic several times. She's been to Ireland and Scotland. She's flown a lot. She's losing her garbage. She is panicking,
pinching your shoulder so hard.
She's got this grip on my shoulder. Put it down. I tap Casey on the shoulder, and we turn around and we land and we climb out. My wife's really upset. And as soon as the Casey gets out of the plane, a couple gentlemen who come from the main building, they're kind of not running, but walking up faster. And she says this. I'll never forget this. She says to these guys, how come you didn't tell me it was so windy out there? We almost flipped over. Upon all the whole deer happened. My wife immediately buckled over and puked all over the place.
On cue, huh?
Oh, crying and the whole 9 yards. I'm trying to usher her to the car. I go inside and they give us back our money. I give Casey a $50 tip and say, I bet you're an awesome pilot. I'm sorry that this happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I had bruise on my shoulder for the longest time. But I gave up.
You survived. You survived.
Casey. She was.
The prototype DEI.
Yeah, and if it would have been a due to that happening, I don't think my wife would have acted as poorly.
Yep. Rob McKenna, $10. Thank you. Unmanned flights. The Babylon Bee skits or articles write themselves. Yep. Absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, I saw that comment too, Cal. Stewardess. I speak jive. Let's do our giveaway.
Let's do that.
Right now.
Everyone's a member, right?
Yeah. All right. You got to be active in the chat, guys.
Shout out, say something.
Channel members have a 2 times better chance of winning. Active timeout, only users active within the past 15 minutes are eligible to win. Okay, yep. Right. Sorry, guys. Help if I actually put it up there. Oops. Double D, what are you doing? You're a rank amateur. All right. If you guys want to win the latest issue of Chris Miller's Mad Scribe magazine, you got to say something in the chat. Just type something. A letter. An emoji.
D&D porn, write that in there.
Yeah, D&D porn. Yeah. Write your favorite position, when you're narrating your game. I'll give you a few minutes here, guys.
Oh. Was the security guard right in doing that? Yes or no? Would that have happened at Chipotle's? Yes or no?
Here we go. Always see some fresh faces here. Doug Paul, dude. You guys can comment. You guys can contribute.
Roxy Soxy's here?
Or not. It's okay. Roxy, good to see you. Oh, please, no. Again, this is courtesy of Chris Miller, Mad Scribe. I tell you what I'll do. I'll show it to you, and then we'll come back. Keep typing if you guys want some of this. He has a cosplay. One second here, guys. Cosplay chick. He always has a really good, I'll give you a little, we won't show it all to you, but he always has a nice cosplay and couture section. Of course, some good old-fashioned gaming cartoons. And some usable stuff, interviews and the like.
This is an awesome magazine.
It is. And remember, guys, Chris is always looking for submissions. Just hook up with him on Twitter. Chris Miller, the Mad Scribe. If you have an idea, he'll tell you, maybe the format you need to use. And, it's got to be good. Of course, so not everything is going to be chosen, just like in the old Dragon magazine. But he will definitely take a look at it. So if you have an idea for like a 2-page adventure or a article or something, try them out.
Yeah, Double D's been published.
I have been. Yep, did a barroom fighting rule set, which like I said, you can just piggyback onto existing rules. So, it was like 2 pages, and Chris did the art for it. Worked out well.
I get when I page through that, I get that feeling like way back in the day when Old White Dwarf did all sorts of gaming.
Oh yeah, when they were good. When they were good.
Dungeons and Dragons stuff, old school White Dwarf.
Yep. God, the good old days. All right, guys. You've had enough time. This is your last chance. I'm going to count down from 10, so just type a letter if you still want.
Come on, Hungar, jump in there.
Yeah, maybe Hungar is not active. I wonder if you can activate people. Oh no, you can't. I was going to say, do I have the power? All right, so here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, I'm going to choose the winner for the latest issue of Mad Scribe. Olimar, 427. Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations.
Olimar, 427. If you could type something in the chat, let us know you're here. So confused.
It's not rigged. I watched him hit the button.
There he is. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congrats. I'm going to put the my email, my business email, or the email I use for this kind of stuff for the channel. Just dashgabbers@gmail.com. Olimar, if you could just send me your address where I need to send this, I will send it out to you. Yep. Ryan Nilsson got the last. Yep. Hope you enjoyed that. Well, I know I'm a good egg, but you can actually thank Chris Miller for this. He was kind enough to send me a copy or two, and I told him I would send it out. Thank you guys for sticking around, too. We'll do one quick little video to wrap things up here. So this won't take long. 60 Minutes was talking with some people in the German government. Germany has fallen far and fast, Rogan. Do you want to hear what they have to say about free speech?
Sure.
Nightbot is now blocked. Yeah, I better maybe I had to get rid of Nightbot just in case. Boom. There we go. All right, last video, guys, then we'll let you go.
It's illegal to display Nazi symbolism, a swastika, or deny the Holocaust. That's clear. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is. And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you're in the internet, if I insult you or a politician...
That sticks around forever.
Yeah.
The prosecutors explain German law also prohibits the spread of malicious gossip, violent threats.
That is a police department somewhere.
It is.
With screenshots of people's tweets. You don't think the world's fucked up?
That's really uncomfortable.
Try that shit here. Try arresting me for tweets here. I've always told Mrs. D, I'm like, look, I'm a normal guy. I mean, I'm not a radical, you know. But you know what? When the normal guy, Michael Douglas, in Falling Down, you know, when the normal guy gets pushed too far, you will never find a bigger radical. When they start throwing people in jail for tweets here, if these lunatics on the left get their way, guess what? I'm going to be distributing some free lead.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, you always are talking about that. Yeah. You have a little bit of him in you, don't you?
I do. I do.
John Osborne, $5. Have some shill-free shekels this week. Double. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. Good to see you here, my friend. Bruce, you have been relentless tonight. I thank you very much, and all you guys who have given memberships, given super chats. Like I said, from the smallest to the biggest, it's all very much appreciated.
Absolutely.
By all of us here, including Crazymouse, who is hopefully at home resting. He does not get. This is kind of news. He does not get sick. Crazymouse.
I don't think I've seen him sick.
No,
I mean I'm looking. You know, all the years I've known him.
Yeah.
You know, he has. You know, he had froggy throat every now and then, but like sick. Yeah,
he was struggling.
Yeah, he was.
He was struggling, but God bless him. He made the effort, and we appreciate it. That's why we love it. Hey, enough with the R.I.P. Crazymouse. No pressing F. He is fine.
No. Oh, that's cold.
Bruce for $5. Are you hiding memes under your floorboards? Thank you for the quality live stream, sir. It's been fun. Well, thank you, buddy.
That's cool. Thanks.
Like I said, I'll be pushed so far. Like a lot of us on the right, we do allow ourselves to be pushed. And granted, this is Germany. They don't have the same protections, although they should. The UK doesn't have the same protections. They should.
Is this because of the guilt of what happened in the Second World War?
In Germany's case, absolutely. Yeah, it's complete guilt.
Learn a lesson, but like if you're still guilty, I just this is inconceivable. This is such a dangerous thing for any government to do. It really is.
It is,
regardless of the reason.
No, I agree.
And fake quotes.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well, because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders. But in most cases, a judge levies a stiff fine and sometimes keeps their devices.
How do people react when you take their phones from them?
Look at that 60 Minutes reporter, that fucking cunt smiling. How do they react?
Yeah.
When you engage in the Nazi-like behavior that you claim to hate.
They are shocked.
They are shocked.
It's a kind of punishment if you lose your smartphone. It's even worse than the fine you have to pay.
Because your whole life is typically on your phone now.
Oh, great. So if you have text messages from your mom who passed away, or your dad, or brother or sister, I guess that's all the government's now. You pieces of shit. CBS said free speech led to, I saw that, to the Holocaust north of the Rockies. Thank you so much. Yeah. Did
I do that?
Had to give you one. It was over 10. Yeah, I couldn't quite believe that.
That is such a small-minded statement. I mean, a lot of things led to the Holocaust. That is just stupid talk.
These are bad people. As far as Germany goes, there was the Marshall Plan after World War II, which we ended up going with. That was the one where, hey, we're going to rebuild Germany, and we're going to make them powerful again someday, just not as militaristic. Or we could have done the Morgenthau Plan. You know what that was, Rogan?
No.
I don't know if he was the Secretary of the Treasury or Secretary of State or something. Is it Henry Morgenthau? He said Germany has caused so much trouble. We need to deindustrialize them and make them an agrarian society. So every factory that's left after World War II will either be shipped off to either, probably Russia or France, or will just be destroyed.
Right.
And they will no longer be able, all their mines will be dynamited, so they can't get anything.
Shit.
And they will be a country of farmers.
Yeah, blasted to the Stone Age.
Yeah, we decided not to do that because we found out they could only feed 60% of their population or something, so 27 million Germans would have died. When you see videos like that,
oof.
I don't know. I don't know. Jeffrem, $5 Canadian. On a more positive note, Army of Darkness turned 30 years old today. Ooh, hail to the king, baby.
Groovy.
Yeah. Do you remember that one dude he was on like EN World and then Eric Noah's site in Nutkinland? What was his name? He always had Bruce Campbell's picture from Army of Darkness. Crypt King.
Yes.
Crypt King. That was his name. I always remember that about him. Thank you, Jeffrem. I didn't realize that. 30 years old today.
That's awesome.
Good movie. Due for a rewatch. I haven't seen it in a while. Yep.
This is my boomstick.
Yeah.
All right. I know those damn words.
I know your damn words.
Yeah, that was my phone ringer for when my wife would call me.
We knew it would always go off during our game.
Yeah.
Or the unacceptable one. What was that from?
That was for everybody else.
Okay. Unacceptable. Well, we've reached the end, folks. We were going to squeeze in, if Crazymouse was here, we would have done a little bit of, I actually probably would have ended this a little earlier, so we could have played a little bit more.
We could do Rourke and Aurora.
Ooh, yeah. You mean based on Super Geek Mike's?
Let's download something.
All right. Aurora's got her tail in. What do you want to do? Oh, God. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, hey, consenting adults and stuff like that, but like,
Yeah.
Was it like? Did you really need to share that? I don't even know. And he's an OnlyMans model.
I think you just had a new site there.
Yeah.
OnlyMans.
OnlyMans model. And he's proud of it too. Like, hey, confidence is a great thing. You know.
We have my lord. We have a controversy, says Bruce. $5. Army of Darkness was released October 1992, February 1993. Okay, over 32 years ago. All right, well, it's a good movie nonetheless. So keep peace between you guys. 30 years is a long time. God, where has the time gone, folks?
Jeez Louise.
Where has the time gone? Hey, we got more in front of us. Make the most of it. Make the most of it, guys. All right. That's it.
Lonely fans. You're right, Patrick.
Lonely fans. Lonely. That's a good one. Remember, guys, pointyhat.games. Like I said, it ain't charity. It's a good little card game. One, obviously, it's mobile. You know what? It's perfect because me and Mrs. D did this. It was at Gen Con. Yeah, that's where we met Patrick and his lovely wife. We got the game, and then we went back just to our hotel bar and just played over a beer. You know, just kind of figured it out playing, and then boom, had a good time. So it's a perfect game for that. So check it out, guys. You're helping out one of your own. Patrick is here all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just like I said, just going through a little bump now, but he will land on his feet. We know that because he is a smart guy. I hope the rest of you guys are doing well. Stay warm out there if you're in the north.
Or in the south, I guess. Yeah,
yeah, or in the south, I guess. Yeah. God. Brutal. And I'm going to, I might double up and make a video. Maybe I'll do it on that Steve Jackson thing. You know, not everybody sees these live streams. It's a kind of a different crowd sometimes, so maybe I'll do a video on that. So don't think too harshly of me for double dipping, but sometimes those videos can kind of boost you up. So, oorah, attaboy Shark, good to see you, buddy.
Chomp chomp.
Yep, chomp chomp. That's from Crazymouse. He missed you last week. It was either last week or the week before. You weren't here. All right, guys, I'll leave you. We'll give you something to go out on. And hope you have a great rest of the week. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll talk real soon. Any last words, Rogan?
The usual. You guys are awesome. Awesome, creative, very, very generous.
Yep.
Oh, shucks,
the
Roxy.
price of some of this shit Doji found. They could have rebuilt those towns in North Carolina. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Roxy. All right, guys. Peace. See you soon.
Good night.
There's a ship lies rigged and ready in the harbor. Tomorrow for old England she sails, far away from your land of endless sunshine, to my land full of rainy skies and gales. And I shall be aboard that ship tomorrow, though my heart is full of tears at this farewell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. I heard there's a wicked war a-blazing, and the taste of war I know so very well. Even now I see the foreign flag a-raising, their guns on fire as we sail into hell. I have no fear of death, it brings no sorrow. But how bitter will be this last farewell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. Though death and darkness gather all about me, and my ship be torn apart upon the sea, I shall smell again the fragrance of these islands in the heaving waves that brought me once to thee. And should I return safe home again to England, I shall watch the English mist roll through the dell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell. For you are beautiful, and I have loved you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell.
धीरे धीरे बड़ी चली जो थी चिंगारी छोटी